Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 5 edition of the pregame for EDL. Where I'm here with my co-host, the famous Elo sitting. I'm sorry about that.
What?
The famous jungler from season 3, Itaconic.
It was season 2, but thank you. I get your point. I get your point.
And joining us tonight, we have Ramadan enjoyer LGA.
Thank you for the delayed introduction.
Of course. And then we have Mr. Coquito Enders.
Puerto Rico in the house.
Puerto Rico in the house. Yes, sir. Rep me. LGA, as if you guys don't know, LGA is from the Malders. He's the top lane ADC, jungler, support, mid, everything. And Enders is the ADC for that team.
Rank 1 ADC.
Rank 1 ADC. LGA, what do you think about your opponent tonight? I'm pretty sure you're ADC tonight, right?
Looks like it is. Be like that.
You sent me
How
a
it goes.
message. You sent me a message in DM saying, if you manage to gap Enders, you'll never look at Enders the same way again. Can you
That's not what
explain that to
I
me?
said. I said I'll never look at the ADC pool again the same way.
Okay. Enders, can you like 2-piece him for me tonight?
Damn.
Like slam
Hater.
No, I'm kidding. Enders, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? Give us your positive outlook. First off, let's start with oh wait, we can't even really bring that prediction up yet. Okay. I was gonna say, I want to hear his prediction, but that would be for later. I was just gonna say like, what does he think his prediction is and why is it gonna work out? But it's okay. We'll jump into that later. Enders.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump into the week 1 matchups. We have the Dragons, Raptors. We're gonna the first set of matchups. My bad. The week 5. I read the thing. The first round of matchups. It's Dragons versus Raptors. We're gonna go right into our predictions. I'm gonna drag it down. Is that okay? Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't know I had to control it. Sorry, first time in the house. And we have a whopping 2-0 decision from everyone, unanimously deciding that Dragons are winning 2-0 tonight. Now, the very funny thing would be if Raptors decided that it was time to reverse that and make us all go 0-1 tonight. Enders, LGA, where do you guys have Dragons 2-0 tonight?
You can start LGA.
I mean, I don't know if there's much to be said here, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I'll be real. They're gonna get gapped in every single fucking lane. It's gonna take a miracle and a half for Raptors to bring it together, unless they all just turn
Kinda
into
feel
like
bad for them.
Showmaker.
And
No.
also, their jungler's also not playing tonight. Galen, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Like,
I thought it was Supreme Chris is not playing today.
one of them is not playing tonight. As of right now, I was told it was the captain, and the captain is Galen, but it might be
No,
Chris.
the captain's Chris. Is it not? Did they switch?
Yeah, it's Chris.
The captain's
Yeah.
Chris.
It's someone. It's gonna be the top laner. So apparently they don't have their top laner. They're scrambling for support, a sub. So that's gonna be one check mark to why it's gonna be a 2-0 tonight, in my opinion, for Dragons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Dragons. Oh my bad, Ida, you go.
I thought we were just voting against Super Weeb so we get like the anime buff, you know?
Yeah.
The anime buff.
I mean, he's the protagonist. He's
I'm
definitely
ready
gonna
for him to
win
1v9 actually.
I would
just think-
agree if he wasn't a support.
I just think Dragons. The game, like, they're like the ultimate feast or famine team. Like, if the enemy team's better than them, then they kind of lose the series. But if they're better, they kind of just snowball the game and they just stomp. And let's be real, Dragons is pretty much better than Raptors unless everyone in that team just suddenly is like, they just got better overnight.
Sure.
But yeah, I think Dragons just kind of decided.
Okay. With that being said, we got a clean 4-0 sweep for the Raptors here. We're gonna move on to the puppies, the fluffy puppies, sorry, and the astronauts. And wow, I'm the only believer in the Obong Bowler teams. Um, LGA, why puppies? 2-1.
Let's just say I saw Beanie sub in off roll in the jungle for Fluffy Puppies game 3 after the jungler had to leave, and then we got in high elo player SB Piper, better known as Phoenix, to play, and he still got diffed by the Emerald mid lane main in jungle. So I think Beanie's a good replacement for Aurelius. I think they'll do fine. I don't think Obongo's doing too hot after his hiatus after last week with a better jungler in replacement for him. So maybe if he subs out today again, they might. But
Well,
it's about for an improved sub. Let's clarify that.
yeah, that's true.
Correct.
That's true.
well, another thing is, I'm pretty sure the fool himself is not playing tonight. I think they actually. Wait, I might have to change my. I think the astronauts have 2 subs tonight. I'm not too sure. Do they? Yeah, I think they have 2 subs tonight. So yeah.
I guess
So
everyone's sub abusing now.
I know, right?
New
We
meta.
got the ghost of Kiev tech coming through.
And working out with your weakest link, sub him in, sub someone else.
I personally, I forgot that they had subs, but I personally thought that I knew that the fool wasn't playing, and that's why I thought Obongo was gonna play mid, and they were gonna find a jungle sub. I thought that they were gonna do that, and now I don't know what it's gonna go on with. But I thought that astronauts looked really well the last 2 weeks. They really could have pulled it off. The 2-1 victory. What about you, Itaconic? What's up?
So
Tell
I'll
me.
explain why I didn't put the astronauts here. It was a little iffy. So I found out they had subs, and I was like, okay, the fool is kind of the pillar of the team. It's kind of the voice, the reason. Not Quintic is the captain. Now, he might get a little crazy with his little drafts, I'll say that. And I think Obongo's a good jungler. It's just that the jungle nerfs will hit the carry potential of the role. I don't want to get too nerd emoji about it, but it's mostly tanks now and support junglers. Not that many graves.
Oh.
The things he likes to play, you know?
Oh, I forgot you were a jungler. Wow.
Yeah, I do it in my spare time sometimes. Yeah, but
Wow, that's very insightful of you, to be honest, Itaconic. Some of you junglers out there need to be taking notes, writing it down for when you start playing later. Okay. Now,
Let's
guys.
just say if Quintic puts away the 500-page Excel sheet when they do the draft, they might stand a chance.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so Excel sheet needs to be improved. Okay, we're gonna go to the main matchup of tonight. What I think is gonna be the heavy hitters tonight, basically fighting for first place, second place, and third place. Because if Puppies wins, they go first. Puppies lose, Sheep go first. I'm pretty sure if Malders win 2-0, I think they can and potentially get first place or something like that. But this is basically the fight for first, second, and third. We have Itaconic with Mauled 2-1. Ita, surprising. Not really, but why Mauled 2-1?
Yeah, I'm going against the grain here, but I think LGA can actually keep iEnders in check, and therefore the rest of the map will go on fire. I just believe in rank 1 in his British capacity to conquer everyone else. And Black Shep will just they're gonna have just solo lanes just crumbling, honestly.
Very insightful. Very, very insightful. I think you might be a little biased because you hang out with LGA and the Lit Club, but you know what?
Not at all,
That's
not
yeah,
Not at all.
that's just my opinion. LGA and then after Enders. Why LGA are you guys winning 2-1 tonight?
Well, I know stand ready. You good, bro?
Yeah, sorry, that was just my lungs.
I know Stan Reddy's on like a 0-6 win rate in EDL, and I heard that he is subbing in top lane for Stank, who I think was actually been doing pretty good for the position he was drafted in. So that's gonna be kind of a hard hit in the top lane because we're getting the matchup back again from last week with Argo versus Stan Reddy. Didn't go too hot for him last week. And I think Rake One had his midnight tea tonight, so he's feeling good. He's getting ready for the games today. We know the strategy is for me to take over the draft lull, and we're doing pretty good with that. So I think we're getting settled in. We're feeling good.
You know what? I think that deserves a good old. 1 second. Let me sound a good old. Wow, this team might actually be the best team in the league if you're drafting. Holy, wow. What's Enders? Any response to that? Like, this guy in DMs is telling me he's gonna gap you. He's going to like take that rank 1 from you.
Well, before we get to that point, before we go to there, let's just be real here. We are getting a little bit of a sub in top, but Stan Reddy told us he's pumped up. He's ready to prove the doubters wrong. All right, and I want to say, I'm not gonna lie, my jungle mid have been kind of underrated the whole time. All right,
Okay.
those two guys are, in my opinion, top 3 in the role for sure, and they're rocks, playmakers, showmakers. All right, these guys, the synergy's there. Everyone's kind of tried to get like a game plan to beat us, and it's kind of never worked. Everyone's tried different, and they can't find out how to beat us yet. We got the best drafter in Molly. Just knows the bans, knows the picks. It's gonna be a draft gap, I can assure you that. And I'm just gonna be real. It's probably just gonna end up being like, I could be put on a losing matchup in bot, and I'm still gonna come out ahead probably.
Okay.
Hashtag when Itzy lost lane as Nautilus Vayne into Zeri Yumi.
Okay.
Oh no,
okay.
Nautilus Lucian into Zeri Yumi.
Wow, this guy's pulling out the record books. Jeez.
But yeah, I think no flame to Itzy. It was just a draft gap in that sense, giving me Zeri. But yeah, I think we're just gonna win. It's gonna be 2-1 because we always throw one game, but we gotta keep it entertaining.
You know, I'm gonna have to like agree. I'm gonna have to agree with you, my friend. I think you guys have one of the best drafting teams in the league. And I think you guys remind me of season 1 waffles, just draft gapping every team. Throwback to my season 1ers out there back in my day. I think you guys are gonna draft gap a lot of teams. I think you guys are gonna just be better than a lot of teams just because of drafting. And then you guys have the hands, you guys have everything else that comes along with it. So I think to like speaking, you know, I think that's why Black Shep are gonna win. That brain of Molly in there goes crazy. You know.
Wait, can I change my prediction?
Change your prediction.
Not matter. To 2-0 Malders, because I know they're not gonna have Stank. You know, the best player on that team.
Oh.
Because if I knew it was gonna be Nick, you know.
Let me give it to you.
Then
Let me give it to you.
I'll give it to
All
Malders. No offense, Enders, but Stink is.
No, don't worry. When you guys see me, like either you guys come bot lane, I'm still winning in bots, and then we snowball. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, and now we're going to the comedy show. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. We're gonna go to probably a good matchup between bottom tier teams. That's not Flame. That's just standing speaking. We got everyone here picking we got everyone picking here big girls to win tonight. Let's start it off from the opposite. Let's start with me this time. Why I think big girls are gonna win. I think big girls are gonna win because they're just better drafting. Yordos kind of looked bad last week. They looked all over the place. They didn't know what they were doing. I think their games ended pretty quickly. They had one game just go barely past 30. And I don't know. I just didn't like what I saw from them last week, and it was kind of disappointing. Yeah, that's my take. Ito, why do you think it's gonna be a 2-0?
I'll give you a quick rundown. The guy Theory Ice is the best mid laner in the league, easily. Lizzo, best top laner, was gonna devour Crab. Like, it's gonna have him 0-10 crying in his Nexus for ganks. Alright. ADHD, he's alright. Yeah, he does his job. And Ixie, that guy's alright too. He got some hands sometimes. And I actually think Ixie's just gonna own bots. Lizzo owns top. They just have 3 solo winning lanes. It's gonna be 2-0 stomp.
2-0 stomp. All right. Now LGA Enders, you guys both chose 2-1. Let's start with you, LGA, since you went first last time. Why? Oh, well, yeah, whatever. Why do you think that Big Girls are winning 2-1?
I mean, I have a bit of insider knowledge from both teams, so I got kind of a decent idea of how they're feeling coming into this. I know that Yordle and Joyce are still trying to figure out what roles to put all their teammates in and figure out where guys are insta the least. Poor guy. We're still figuring it out, I guess. I know ADHD dodged a wedding so that he could come play tonight because he was worried that the sub would not perform. So
No. Oh, that's respect.
That is so
Respect.
based.
That is so much respect. You
he's
know
ready
what?
to win tonight. I'm just saying, I feel
God.
like
Did
the
he
big girls are
actually
pretty
dodge a
hyped.
wedding? Did he actually dodge a wedding?
No, he got a cold, so he didn't.
Oh,
He
okay.
canceled the flight. He didn't actually.
I was gonna be like, imagine if they lose.
That would've been- Oh man. That's very interesting.
And then I give one game because I just saw ADHD queue up 3 games before today. It lost all 3 of them inting, so I know he's
Do
coming
you
into the game
think-
tilted.
All right, quick question. Let me make a comparison. ADHD flu game equals a Michael Jordan flu game, maybe? You think it's gonna happen? Think he's gonna smurf it?
I don't know what the team's gonna. It depends what the team wants him to play, or if they're just gonna keep letting him play like the high-income junglers. But I think after the new patch, he's kind of got to switch up his play style a bit. So we'll see what he's
Oh.
thinking of picking
I
today.
think the girls are just a better team. Realistically, it should be a 2-0, but they have Liz on the team, so it might be a 2-1. He's gonna probably throw one game, and then they'll win the next one for sure.
Correct. All right, let's we got like a couple minutes left. Let's you guys any banter you want to say, Mr. Enders, before we let you go?
Oh yeah. Actually, no. I've already said too much banter. I shouldn't go forward. Never mind.
Okay. L Bozo, LGA, what do you want to say?
All I'm gonna say is I heard before the games last week, Ixie said it was gonna be light work in the bot lane, and I kind of smacked him up. I'm gonna be honest, and I didn't even play any ADC at all until that day. So
Yeah, but I'm
I'm
not
a little
too
more
buddy.
warmed up. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Molly's a cool guy, so I don't want to banter too much on Molly, but
Jesus Christ.
Me too. Me too.
you,
damn.
you got something special. Seb, you got.
Me too. Yeah, well, that's. Me too. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys.
Get
this thank you for guy being off my here. Content. Best of luck to both of you, and don't let me down, Enders. That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna be a quick 2-1.
That's not quick.
Well, it's because we're not gonna win 2-0. We never win.
Correct.
So it's gonna be a 2-1.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Emerald League Season 4, Week 5, with our game of the week between Malders and the Black Chef. My name is Epileptic Unicorn. Joining me this week is Hanmine. How are you
What
doing?
up, what up, what up? As I do most weeks.
All right. Well, I think we might actually start games on time here, as our teams are actually in lobby ready to go. We aren't delayed 15 minutes. So I think we're just waiting for a final ready check. We might actually start, picks and bans here, which is
That's
kind
crazy.
of huge.
Can we get a round of applause in the chat for being on fucking time? Let's go. That's what I like to hear.
All right. Well, here we are in picks and bans with our, looks like the first ban coming out might be the Jinx. See here, looks like we have subs in the top lane for both these teams here. So we'll see how that ends up, panning out. But this Jinx is going to be the first ban, trying to take away some comfort picks away from iEnders. I expect, there might be some more 80 carries to follow after his performances so far this season.
You think it's a 5 ADC ban? That's what I'm thinking.
It just might be, especially if they're banning the Caitlyn here, because they still have, if they ban the Caitlyn here, they still haven't banned the Zeri, which is
they have time, brother.
So, it looks like iEnders might just get all three bans targeted at him first phase here, as the Caitlyn is taken out, the Fiddlesticks and Udyr taken out by the Black Shep on the other side. So, a little bit of targeting towards Rake. So
that's not Zeri.
Considering an Annie ban instead.
Why? That's not even a good champ. Why ban it?
They're really taking their time here, but they are going to lock in that Annie ban, and it might be Rake who ends up getting the triple ban against him here, as the Karthus, a fairly standard ban against Rake nowadays, is going to come out there. So what are the bowlers?
Like it's always worked out.
Hey, it's won some games, it's lost some games, it's been banned a lot of games.
True. What they didn't ban though is his Evelyn, so we can that might come out. That might come out.
All right. Well, what do the Malders want to try and prioritize here? As they have only a couple seconds left to lock in, really taking their time on all of their picks. And they're going to go with the Ziggs. Locked in first pick.
Now, do you think that's a flex pick, or do you think that's really just going to go?
Well, I know Boat Chicken plays it a lot. I am not sure about LGA. It can definitely be a flex pick, although I'm not sure you really want to be first picking it. It did get, some buffs to revert a nerf that it got 8 years ago this week.
Love that.
So did get a little bit stronger, but they could definitely still get punished, especially if you're expecting to play that in mid lane. A very bold first pick, but there is the Zeri coming out for iEnders. It's probably a signature champion here in Emerald, the one that he's had the most big plays on, and the Sejuani coming out for Lion. A little bit of a front line to go with it.
Now, do you think, seeing the Zeri Sejuani, that they're gonna? You think the next two picks on Malders are gonna be squishy?
Well, hopefully the next two picks on Malders have some sort of point and click CC.
That's like point and click.
Yeah, it's not quite point and click, but they are gonna lock in the Heck Rim. And
that's point and click with some delay.
3-second delay, you get a 3-second route. Yeah.
Whoa!
That could be something. It could be a very harass focused, shove focused bot lane if they end up pairing this up together, the Ziggs Karma in the bot lane. That could be their strategy to try and neutralize this Zeri. Just keep him under turret, make him CS through the poke and harass, and
tough.
try and get advantages that way.
Yeah. They could be playing speed the Heckram up.
All right, here comes the Yuumi. Holy
wow.
shit! Who could have guessed that happening?
Wow.
As the Yuumi, Molly's going to ride around.
That champion's still in the game. Why hasn't that been kicked out of league yet?
Yeah, it's a bit questionable, that this champion is still in the game. I think maybe next season we add it to the rulebook that this champion actually doesn't exist, but
Yumi's permaban reason doesn't matter. Just permaban.
for now it is here, and we get a lot of top lane bans here coming out in the phase 2. Alawi, Trinivir, and Fiora all taken off the board in rapid succession as they're thinking about their last pick here, looking at the Zed. We'll see if they decide to lock that one in. But based off the draft so far for the Malders, I'm going to assume that their plan is to put the Ziggs bot lane. I'm not sure what else you would try to pair with the Karma, or why you would pick the Karma early if this wasn't your plan. So
That's fair. They could. Yeah, I just don't know what ADCs really pair well with her right now. That are decent in the meta.
I mean, I don't
currently.
think Karma is very good. And I think this is like the only angle where you can get usefulness out of Karma is trying to just perma push this bot lane, use your range, harass with something like the Ziggs.
Hear me out. They play Zillion bot.
Yeah, I don't think that's very good either. That sounds like a good way to just let Zeri free farm with no issues.
Nah.
But they're actually looking to lock in an Ezreal maybe here and put that Ziggs in mid lane and poke Chicken's hand instead. And that's what they're gonna do. So
they're going for a more poke oriented bot lane then. I mean, either way, it was poke oriented.
Yeah, you just don't have, you give up a lot of wave control here, and it's a lot easier to just harass the Zeri down when you can just shove the wave, make her farm under turret, and just keep throwing skill shots at her. Especially when in the early levels she's trying to play the lane 2v1. But they'll go for the Ezreal instead, and then they're just gonna lock in the Nasus in top lane, giving Stand Ready the choice to counterpick whatever he wants to play into this. See what he decides. There's a couple bans already taken out here.
What are
in that like bruiser pool?
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of his Nasus counters are still open.
Yeah. We'll see if Stand Ready wants to go for any of them. He's gonna go for the
Ignite.
Urgot. So that is that's a matchup. But
I mean, that's his high. Urgot has a pretty high win rate against Nasus, but does he play it?
Well, if you look, it also the sheep have they have the Sejuani, they have the Urgot, they have Rise, which is also very like deceptively tanky, and they have the Yumi to just sit on all these big meatballs, and then once the Zeri starts popping off, you just go jump back there and give her the movement speed to clean up the fight. So they have a fairly cohesive fight. They might be lacking a little bit in terms of the just straight up engage. They only have the Sejuani ult to really start things off. But I guess they could look for some clever angles with the Realm Warp, try and get Urgot on a flank or something.
Maybe. Now, what if I was to tell you that Urgot isn't even in Stand Ready's match history or ever played list?
I think he's going to pop off, go legendary in the first 10 minutes.
That is a bold prediction.
This
game, he might.
Yeah, the game's already over. We don't even need to play it. Let's go to game 2.
Game 2. Urgot wiped everybody. Got it.
Yeah. But, looking, at the Malders, they kind of struggle even more with any sort of engage. They really don't have anything besides maybe Hecarim finding a good flank angle and getting a full fear onto like the Zeri or Rise. But
yeah, but even with that, like the follow-up damage just seems like it's very skill shot based, very sporadic. So
yeah, definitely just want to play that more poke oriented. They got a decent range advantage here. Ziggs and Ezreal have very long range. If they can set up objectives first, they can leverage the Karma shields and speed up to dodge any sort of returning poke or attempts to engage, and just throw out those long range skill shots and try to win objectives that way. But I think if they just start up a straight up 5v5 team fight at even gold, I mean the Zeri is just going to bring in the Rise just going to bring so much more DPS than what the Malders have.
Hmm.
Um,
I agree. Plus, I don't think they're gonna be breaking through Yumi heals right away either. So
Yeah. Well, with that, we will have to see how this first game plays out, but we're going to throw it to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have game 1 between the Malders and the Black Shep. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the start of Game 1 here. As we get both teams just a little bit of auto attack trading here. Zig's getting that first damage in. He's padding all those stats, getting that Manifold land early on here.
Let's go.
It's huge for him.
We love that for him.
Pretty sure they know Rise is there because he would have had to walk past Hecarim, but I don't think anyone thinks going to really happen here.
I don't think they win that 1v1.
Okay, here we go. They both getting mana flow bans. Face Rush is proc. He gets another auto attack. He dodges the bomb. Look at those sick plays. All right. Whiskey looking for a bit of invade. No, just going to drop the ward here, but Boat is struggling on this this trade here. But Gent, I think, just got all 3 of his stacks for his Spell Thief, so plus 60 gold.
Why is Mollywops at like 3/4 HP? What's going on there?
Because he just walked into an empowered Karma Q level 1 to try and ward a bush. But I don't think you guys want to take this level 1 fight, but both exhausts are going to come out anyway. The Q is going to land onto LGA, trying to build some space. Ender's having to pop that ghost. The heal was popped as well off of Yuumi. And that's 3 summoners burned for a pretty even trade overall between those 2 bot lanes, with only 1 summoner being burned by the Malders.
If Jet would have backed off a little earlier, I think they would have came out a little bit on top on that trade health-wise.
But we'll see how well the Yuumi can kind of equalize this health pool, as Ender's popping those potions started with the longsword, so he has a lot of extra sustain here. Is already back up to basically full, and LGA is down to half. Level 2 is hit, but everything's going to be disengaged. But these Yuumi Qs are just hitting LGA every single time, and he's really running low on HP, already using that potion. So just get a little bit of a trade here. I don't think Rainer has got to be a bit careful, but is he going to make it out?
That's 2 miscues in that little span there.
You know, a bit unlucky, but LGA getting a little bit beat down here in this matchup. Already gonna have to burn the TP before he can even get a tier off his back. So that is
that's not good.
A little rough. Not ideal situations here, but
well, Ezreal's a big roamer, so the boot pickup early is really good.
And now they're trying to stop the recall here, but I don't really think they want to keep looking for a trade. As Hecarim maybe looking for something, but I think that Tribush was just warded, so both junglers playing around the spot side, but nothing's probably going to happen off of it unless iEnders overextends. And it looks like he is. He doesn't have level 3 yet to jump over the wall. Oh, he does have it leveled up, so he's able to get out, but walking very aggressively here. Is very low on HP. He just needs to get hit by 1 Q, and LGA gets it. As now he's able to run out to safety. 1 more auto attack, but they're not going to find it. Whiskey is going to go down as well. This is going to be a dead Yuumi.
Rake is so strong.
Up. Rake is going to trade his life back with that last turret shot, but he gets executed as well, and that's a 3-for-0 going in favor of the Malders.
That's a wonderful trade for them.
They pinged out that the Hecarim was there. I'm not sure why iEnders was positioning so far forward and then decided he wanted to go back in, look at Sejuani trying to show up behind him, but he took so much free damage, and Ezreal just flash Q'd him to finish him off. Yuumi never dismounted to block those skill shots.
Well, you got to remember, most people forget you can dismount on it. Normally, you just attach to a champion and you're just there until, you die.
All right. Well, Rake greeting for that Skullcraft. He does get it, and he's going to get it out to safety as well. So, #worth, as Whiskey smited a bit too early there. And Rake was able to finish it off. But, a nice lead already for Rake. Getting that 1 kill, 2 assists. Has a good farm lead as well. He's kind of got everything you want from an early game Hecarim.
True. Whiskey's a little behind here. He's also under half HP, so he's probably going to take a back after this crab.
Yeah.
Not doing anything too useful.
You might get a bit of a skirmish here. Rise Ziggs, but the satchel separates them both. and both junglers just keep looking at their farming. They probably suspect that Enders here is going to be playing a little bit farther back, just trying to catch up some of these waves until actually they do have all their summoners up now, so they could look for some more fighting. But with Sejuani pathing to the other side of the map, probably not. But we take a look up this top lane, and if Stay Ready can catch all this wave, it should be pretty even on CS. But we get a bit of a fight, but he is level 6 already on the Nasus, but doesn't want to take that fight regardless, and just looking to farm up this last bit of the wave, crash the Under Tower before he takes his recall, as he has not backed just yet. And I'd say that's pretty successful as your first back here on Nasus. Get your 40 CS, you don't lose a plate doing it, you're not really pressured the whole time. Might not even have to use the TP to come back as well.
No, he can walk it. He can walk it.
Yeah. He's got his Sheen and boots now, so sitting pretty happy here as both mid laners getting a little low here. I expect Rise just looking for a recall, but might look for some tower damage, but a little hard to do against that Ziggs. All right, so after those first couple minutes, the teams have decided they don't want to fight each other anymore. Where do you think is our best chance to get some more action out of these teams?
Well, mid's constantly fighting. I feel like it's gonna be bot again. I feel like there's gonna be at 6 is just gonna be both junglers heading back down there, because it kind of seems like they're clearing their top side now and they're just gonna head down there for Drake control. Honestly, is where I'm guessing. Top lane, it's an island. You can ignore it.
True. Just if we could just put like a screen cover over that half of the map, I mean, it's not really
true. Like black it out. Like they'll eventually pop up, but.
All right. Well, Whiskey seems to disagree as he is going for a gank, but we're not going to look at that here because that doesn't matter. Not even a summoner is being burned, and Nasus is going to walk away. So, yeah, good focus down in here. We got some CS going on.
I mean, it's Fleet Nasus. You really got to catch him overextending, I think, to really kill him.
Yeah. That, especially before you hit 6 on the Sejuani, you have to get up in the melee range of him as well, and he can just wither one of you, so it's really hard to follow up. But looks like they're going to make a play for this Herald. We'll see if Rake wants to trade this one back for the Dragon, but currently he's content just stealing all of Whiskey's bot side jungle camp so far.
Well, they're pinging Dragon. I think they're going to trade it.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for all the camps first. As he starts up the Gromp.
Yeah, they ping the Dragon. Dragons don't matter. They don't win games.
True. That seems like a fairly good trade. There was you get all of his camps, you're probably still going to get this Dragon anyway. And your Nasus just caught like a triple stacked wave crashing under his tower, and no one was there to even pressure him. So that's got to feel pretty good.
True. But, I'm also not convinced. Like, he could probably just pop his ult, and I feel like he could just kill Urgot, but
you do have to be careful about that execute threshold. You don't quite have as much HP as you think you do, but he might just look for it here. The all-in's going to happen. He's going to pop the ult. The Flint is going to miss, and now Stand Ready has to get some more damage, but he's not going to get any damage. I'm trying to flash away, but that's not going to do it. And that's going to be a solo kill for this Nasus up in top lane. And that is not how you want to start off your Nasus matchups, but Enders is getting very low. The heal is popped. Now the ult comes out. The Sejuani is here. The lockdown onto the Ezreal. Exhaust. Ray can't quite get over the wall with his ult. Goes in anyway. Was able to disengage. But Enders still looking for something. Has those ult stacks rolling. Flashes forward, but doesn't have the damage. And it's going to get taken out. In the meantime, Boat's going to get locked down. No, he flashes away the last Q, but he just needs one more auto! And he gets him with the Q. Trade of kills back and forth, but Ender's going a little bit too aggressive in that bot
lane. A little bit, yeah. The flash forward was ambitious at best. I saw what he was going for. It didn't quite work out. You could also obviously see he had no care for his support's life as he brought his support with him.
Yeah, it's fine. But, end of the day, it's Rise getting a bigger lead, now 30 CS up, has a solo kill, has the plate money
Oh.
as well. This Rise is very far ahead of the Ziggs, who's, so far both of them have just basically built mana, but, Rise, there we go, completed his Rite of Ages at 10.5 minutes. So that's a pretty good clip. But on the other side, Rake has a Spear of Sojin already completed your first item. So he's a very rich person. But on the other hand, to get those kills, they never secured the dragon, and now they're going to give that one over to the Shep here off the recalls. Actually, we might get a contest here. There is mid-push, bot priorities coming in, and yeah, Malders looks like they're going to be able to force them one out. We'll see if they want to rotate here to try and fight this, but they are very split off. It's going to be a little bit difficult to contest here. Rake's getting a little bit poked down, but he's not able to secure it. Whiskey walks in to secure it. Should die for this, but no, he's able to dash away just a safety. But now ENDERS goes in straight into the 1v4. Make that a 1v5 as Argo finally shows up with the TP. So to stand ready, a huge fear is going to come out, getting all 5 members. They're going to be able to take down Boat Chicken, but now their health bars are being depleted. They have to run for their life. There goes the Crab, and there goes the Rise. And that ends up being a triple kill over to Rake and a 5-for-2 exchange for the Shep stealing away that dragon.
They got both objectives. They got the Herald. They got the Infernal Dragon. I think it's very interesting that Rake called for that without Smite. Yeah, that was an interesting trade. They did lose a lot of life, but I feel like they are kind of up in objectives. So let's see if they actually
But it is just the first dragon, and you would typically trade a positive 3-kill exchange for the first dragon of the game. Especially your Hecarim is so fed now. And look, they're just getting Herald money onto the Sejuani. They can't even drop this to get money onto one of their carries. They just have to drop it here so it doesn't run out. It's going to get the one charge.
Never mind.
And that's just a little bit of money going over to Sejuani. But now the Sejuani ult comes out, and the Boat Chicken might just go down here. He gets the satchel, buy some space, but he doesn't have Flash, and Rainer's going to be able to chase him down. So that's at least 1 kill traded back in their favor, but they're still, 2,500 gold down here at this 13-minute mark. And, this Hecarim, they're going to have to find answers to lock him down. They do have the Sejuani for not only ult, but the passive to, try and lock him down. He's not building any tank stats yet, but if Rake can just get in a clean engage into the fights, it's going to be terrible for the Shep.
You say yeah, but I don't know if we'll see a tank on him, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe it's like, 6th item. He builds like 200 extra health.
He 100% Duskblade second. Never been wrong.
All right, well, that's something, We'll see. But, Rake kind of is in a position now where he kind of has to deliver for his team. He's secured all the kills. He's on this carry-oriented jungler. He has the most CS in the game, actually. So he's going to be the one that if the Malders can't keep pushing this pace of the lead, you're going to have to ask, well, why wasn't Rake doing more with his lead? But so far, continuing to be Rake, stealing jungle camps. Those are his, but the Smite fight is going to come out, but Rake was able to secure it, so.
I love that his whole team's rotating for that blue buff.
He did trade his ult out there for Rainer's Flash, but now we got an all-in. Ult's being popped on both sides here, but this Urgot just can't quite get the damage down on the Nasus. He needs a little bit more, and he's not gonna live. He dies to the burn on the field. And if he had 5 more HP, he would have secured that execute. But instead, another kill going over to Nasus. Yep, and it is lethality Urgot. It's a one of the builds. I think it's the more popular build at the moment on Urgot to build this more lethality oriented. But I would have preferred to probably see the more traditional, Black
Bruiser.
Cleaver,
Yeah.
maybe Stride Breaker or Jock Shows. Just be that big beefy frontliner who can also still deal the damage with your armor shred, but bit unlucky for him there as not able to finish that one off.
When was the last time Rake backed?
I think before the last dragon fight.
Okay.
If we can toggle over to his current gold baby on the scoreboard. Yeah, he has 3.3k gold. He's being efficient. If he backs, he can't kill his camps on spawn, so...
True. Hummy. And he can't kill the enemy's camps on time either if he backs, so...
Yeah. Alright, here we go. He's gonna back here. He has about 3.5k right now. What's he gonna buy as his second item?
Dustblade, incoming Dustblade.
This is what we all wanted to see. Oh, he doesn't quite have enough. He's sitting in base waiting for it.
Huh.
There we go. There's the Trinity Force. The very standard, not weird Hecarim item.
Yeah, that's not what. Yeah, you think he buys boots fourth?
You know, that's typically something that you like to prioritize on the Hecarim. You know, I can understand foregoing the boots to buy just a straight up full Trinity Force. But, looks like second Dragon's going to be starting up here. The Nasus has already TP'd down. The Urgot's walking himself down, but they're just going to give this one up. As soon as the other team shows up to contest, Rise ult to the mid lane, just catch some waves. It's third Dragon. And this is why that first Dragon doesn't really matter. Because you're now so far down in item completions that you can't actually fight for the second one.
I mean, that's fair, but they kind of buy themselves some time of them getting soul, you know what I'm saying?
Alright, we might just get a dive here. This Nasus doesn't care about this turret. He's just going for it, but it's going to have to be a little bit more respectful. The turret goes down, but in the meantime, Boat Chicken once again cut out way too far forward in the mid lane, but now Raynor is slowed up. He doesn't have the damage. That's a clean kill. Rake throws that ult a little bit too far. The fear doesn't actually connect. Now he's getting cut out here, but the ghost is popped. He gets CC'd up. The exhaust comes out. There looks like they're going to be taking out Enders, and they will. And now there's no way they can take out Rake as Molly trying to get to his team, but that's not going to be good enough. As 3 kills over to Rake and then a shutdown. Finally, as Urgot cleans him up, but this Hecarim is a menace.
It was also unfortunate earlier where they did a little tower dive on Ziggs. Molly got the kill, so that definitely has to feel bad for Enders right now.
Yeah, not really getting himself going in this game at all. Took a couple poor trades there at the beginning, and then that all-in really just put him so far behind with how much the enemy team was able to get out of it. And they have to spend so many resources to take down this Hecarim. You saw it was a 2v3. Sure, they didn't have they didn't have the Sejuani ult or the Yumi, all this stuff from the earlier skirmish, but I mean, if that's what happens when Hecarim's able to run at them by himself. If you have to commit all those resources and his team's there to back him up, dealing out the damage, it's just going to be really hard to actually play out these upcoming team fights. As now Rake is just going straight forward onto iEnders. He should have his dash to get over the wall here. Isn't going to need, and will just run himself out to safety. So that's at least the Hecarim ult down. Make him a little bit less potent for the next minute and a half.
Yeah, Rake's playing this Hecarim very interestingly. He uses his ult as a gap closer, which I fully respect. But also, I've never seen a Dark Seal on a Hecarim. That's a first.
He's going for that Magi's.
I guess.
Yeah, stand ready. He's just getting dove under this tower. He tried to take this fight, but that's not what he wanted. And you see this Nasus gets so much healing from that Divine Sunder from his passive that can just walk through everything. And with this Yomu's build, you don't actually have the damage to shred through this armor he's building up. And it's I don't think this Urgot's ever winning this 1v1 anymore.
Yeah. I don't have high hopes. But you never know. Nah, I have high hopes.
Yeah. Wait, looks like he's maybe building Black Cleaver now, but Nasus is almost to his frozen heart. And he doesn't really need to build any more damage. He's just going to keep matching your damage items for more tank items. As we're going to go into a quick pause here. Unfortunately, hopefully the teams will be able to figure this out here shortly. It looks like we have a little bit of connection issues on one of the team sides, but Rake, hell of a game so far.
True, he's really playing this Hecarim pretty well, rotating pretty well. He's there for his bot lane. And really, even early, he was doing a lot of damage. Like he was kind of a menace early, especially with that. As you can see on the screen there, the early tower dive that they did. I was actually surprised by the damage that he was putting out. Also, kind of felt like Sejuani just kind of fell over too.
Yeah, Sejuani, you know, not the most impactful champion at level 30 with no items, but doing his best to become a little bit more relevant here, but just is on sitting on one Radiant Virtue, looking for maybe a pick onto LGA, but was able to shift out to safety here. But that's really what they kind of got to look for, is getting some picks on, you know, someone. Collect some of these shutdown bounties maybe. Try and get just some any gold back, because, you know, it's only 3,500 gold. It's not, you know, like a doomed gold lead at this point, as Boat Chicken, I think, is going to be dead again for the 6th time this game. So we're just going to gloss over that one. As, looks like the rest of the team rotating up, but I don't really think he needs help. Maybe they're trying to give it to Enders, but no. They're going to secure that one for the Aragot, as Enders still not able to get on the board. But, you know, hey, mind, this is looking kind of like your Ziggs, you know?
I would have already... screw you. I would have flanked more.
Yeah, well, luckily for Boat Chicken, his team's doing pretty well, so it's okay that he's having a bit of a struggle here.
Yeah, well, face checking an Urgot unintentionally, that does suck.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 2 items completed on Enders. Has been able to, you know, keep his farm pretty high here. Looks like around 9 CS a minute here, so doing pretty good. The Baron now on the table. We'll see if the Malders try to flex their muscles a bit here, get any sort of vision control in. Kind of use this poke comp like it was supposed to be, you know, intended for. But they're just walking up to this Ezreal, and Ezreal just takes the Sejuani ult straight to the face, but he's able to get out with 1 HP. Here comes the Hecarim, just almost one-shots iEnders, but now the Ziggs ult comes over the top and is going to be able to finish that one off. So now Whiskey's running for his life, but he's not going anywhere, as Rake just wants to keep fighting this. Got to be a bit careful here. He's going very low, but he's still alive. Gent peels him with those shields, but will go down for it. In the end, it looks like a 2-for-1 trade. The health bar lead for this Rise is able to chase them out here, but Dragon is up. We'll see if they're able to just rotate over and secure this. I don't think Rise is in a position to fight them all off, but Urgot does have TP if they want to try and contest it. It looks like they're just going to give this one over.
Yeah, I don't think they do. Although I do think Rise could have contested that with Yuumi, honestly. I think he's actually strong enough to do that.
All right, well, at least they were able to trade that back for mid lane turrets, so getting an objective going. Now they're looking like they're going to set something up here. If Rake walks too far forward, they should know Rise is here. They saw him take the blast cone, and they have a pink ward behind him. But now Rise is looking in. He found the Karma. They might think he's alone, but no, Rake won't take the bait because they see Crab, or the Urgot, rather.
Oh.
Standing on it, but you're just going to start up this. Nasus does have TP, but this Baron is going down very fast, already below half HP. The Ezreal ult comes in. The Ziggs ult comes in to try and poke them up. It's not going to be enough, but let's see if they try and take this fight afterwards.
Oh, Rainer's in such a bad spot.
And he get the Realm Warp off. He does, but now it's going to be Urgot who's going to be left for dead. But no, he gets 1 kill traded back at the very least. Should go down. The Whiskey with the flash ult, a little ambitious to try and save his teammate. But you can respect
Why was he fighting?
That one.
Why was he fighting Ziggs?
I think Urgot was in the Baron pit, didn't have flash, so he was looking to make the best of it. But that's Baron over to Shep. They were able to, you know, trade even kills in that situation as well, and that's gonna be pretty good for them, as this Rise is really starting to scale. Has his 2 items completed. The Rod of Ages is finished stacking a couple minutes ago. Looks like a little bit of indecision on what his 3rd item was going to be, flipping between, you know, maybe a Death Cap or a frozen heart and kind of got half of both. But
Yeah, he'll blow him at the same time. Now, what's really gonna be interesting is Hecarim gonna keep diving the Zeri? And if he does that, does Ryze have enough damage to wipe the entire team? Or is Rake gonna kill Ryze and then Enders have enough damage to wipe the team? Now,
all right,
it
well,
looks like that.
it looks like that we're gonna have to put that to the test here. Can't Ryze do the damage? He's gonna have to flash over the wall to get himself out to safety. But now reinforcements have arrived, and they might try this follow-up. The Ergot ult, I believe, landed on Hecarim, and there we're gonna get the execute, but not before he takes down the Zeri, as he just completely blows her up. As the chase is gonna continue, but I think everyone else will get out to safety. But there we go. Looks like they do have the damage to take down, at least the Hecarim. The now Boat Chicken taking a 1v1 against Hecarim or against Sejuani is not looking too good for him.
No,
As I think he's gonna go down here for the 8th time.
He's just not having a good time right now. Everyone on Shep apparently can kill him.
Stand ready. He's trying to take this fight, looking to try and bait this Nasus in for the Ryze reinforcements, but Hecarim's just able to walk this one out. Yeah, the Ziggs, Boat Chicken, not quite having the optimal performance, but yeah, on the plus side, he's not worth all that much money, so.
True, his team is, but
yeah, his team has shutdowns, but it's like if you ace his whole team, they give you the same amount of gold. It's just some people give you more than they should.
Yeah, but team has shutdowns. He was shut down. Mental probably booming, but we will have to see.
All right. Well, Rake still sitting on that Dark Seal. Unfortunately, did just lose some stacks. Still is now sitting on just one. Hasn't quite gotten the use out of this that you might anticipate spending an extra 450 gold on. Looks like he's just gonna keep building more aggressive. So we get a full realm warp, but they don't quite get over the wall with it. But they're going in onto this Nasus. It's gonna be a 5v1, but he just needs 3 Qs and he'll take down Enders. But he's not gonna be able to get the opportunity.
Ooh, great shutdown pass to Enders too.
Yeah, that's gonna be a shutdown for Zeri. Always nice. This happens 30 seconds before the Dragon, so it's gonna be hard for the Malders to contest it. But they have Preshow in these other 2 lanes, and they're just probably gonna trade 2 inner towers for 1 kill. And the Shep don't even have time to stick around for this Dragon. They have to go protect their base here. But now Malders might be a bit split up here as Rake goes straight in, has to ult out to safety, but gets stunned up on the exit. He has 1 HP, but he's able to get out to safety with the Ghost. But now the rest of the team might be caught out here. LGA trying to skirt around here. Boat Chicken just starts channeling that recall. And Ezreal. Looks like Ezreal will get out to safety here. The slow is going to land for the Urgot ult. The flash forward into another slow. It's Arcane Shift used now, but the rest of the team is closing in on him. But he's dealing so much damage on this chase, getting those resets off. And that's going to be enough to stop it. And in the meantime, Nasus just TP straight back in. The Ziggs canceled his recall to help him out, as now they're going to look for this chase down onto Ryze, who TP'd in to try and stop it, but he's out of position from his teammates. That's Baron secured, as now Rake is going to get the Dragon as well. And what looked like a promising pick from the ship turned into a disaster as they lose their whole base and the Dragon doing so. Still looking for the chase here. The Dragon has been secured. Whiskey is now reunited with his team. Nasus, you have no ult. You can't be here, but he's going to fight it anyway. The Sejuani ult snipes the Ziggs in the back line. And that's 2 free kills donated over to Shep that the Malders didn't need to give.
Just as you were saying, it looked like a disaster, but they did just give away 2 kills. What's the timer on Baron?
Baron is going to be up in the 30 seconds here.
Ooh, terrible time to die.
Bottom right-hand corner. They do have TP on the Ziggs, but they don't have it on the Nasus, crucially. But it
Let's be real.
look...
Ziggs teleporting is going to do what?
Distraction. He can buy 5 seconds as the kill.
Oh my god.
But, the Shep don't immediately go for this Baron. Had to clean up some waves, so...
I think they should. I think they have the biggest advantage doing it now.
All right, they are still moving over to that. They dropped the blue trinket. The Baron has now just spawned. We'll see if they try and just rush it, but no, they're just going to back this one out, and it is just going to be those 2 kills traded over. But Malders on soul point for this Cloud Dragon, or for this Cloud Soul, rather. But Enders has now completed 3 items. The Urgot's completed 3 items. Whiskey now has a Storm Mail to try and... I don't really know. It's not really any healing, so he's just trying to cut down some healing from the Nasus if he can, CC him up. But Rise, ooh, not quite enough to get his death cap completed either. But I mean, Ender's just scaling here. He's almost to his last Whisper here. He just needs a little bit more gold, and they can probably stall out time for him to get that before they look for another fight. So he should be on 4 items before another big fight breaks out.
And they're definitely have to be careful because he will shred.
Yeah, especially if Rake's really the only one who has access to the backline. He is so squishy. If he mispositions, gets rooted up here with this Rise, he's going straight in, gets a lot of damage onto Enders with that fear. Rainer gets split out from his team, but so is Boat Chicken. Enders is focusing him down, but that's mid laner for mid laner, not a good trade. But Enders is ramping up here. He's stacking up all the flashes onto Gent, looking to take out the support. In the meantime, Whiskey's going to go down, and now it's a 2v2 here, support versus jungle AD. Looks like Enders doesn't want to keep taking that trade, but in the meantime, these top laners just scrapping it out. The ult was popped by the Nasus, but not able to get any turret pressure with it, so...
What do you think about that? He chose to attack their mid, and he chose to attack their support. He went for 2 easy kills,
Yeah.
but I feel like that was too costly. I feel like he should have tried to protect Raz more.
Yeah, especially at that point, he used his flash just to trade back a kill onto the Karma. Instead of trying to peel back, play with your front line. It's a little bit of a poor target selection. I think they could have really, bought a lot of time, especially with Yuumi could dismount and go heal up Whiskey a bit. But we're going to have to table that for a bit, as I don't think the Shep know that Malders are on this Baron. And Rake and LGA just able to 2-man this. No one's even sniffing out this play, and that's going to be a free Baron going over to Malders off the back of a fairly even fight, but just no map or no ward control for the Shep. They didn't know it was happening, and that's going to make this massive split push a lot more potent.
You love to see that. Sejuani picked up the blue buff. That's good.
Well, Sejuani always gets to pick up the blue buff. It's not like someone else could pick it up.
Well, let's be real.
He should have just let it rot.
Yeah.
All right, well, Rise. Death cap completed. It is now 3.5 items. Enders on the Zeri, 4 items completed. That LDR has now been finished. These 2 carries are going to be an absolute menace. And it's going to be really hard for the Nasus just to try and walk in to access the backline. So it's going to be all on Rake to find those big ults with the fear, split the team. If he can split one person, then Ziggs can help split them farther back and really isolate, parts of the fight with those satchel charges plus fears. But, I mean, you can see how much damage he takes. Nasus takes just trying to walk in. For one combo, sure, he can heal it up now here in this sort of side lane scenario. But in an actual fight, it can be very dangerous for him. But in the meantime, Enders is taking so much damage, has to burn the heal and Ghost to build some space. But now Rake is in the backline, ults out, and uses Whiskey as an escape. LGA gets tagged by the Urgot ult, but not enough damage to bring him back to execute. The Rise ult looking to keep it going. Takes 2 people into the backline, but now they're completely split. 2 people going for the fight. Everyone else is trying to stop Nasus. Nasus is just going to go straight for that tower. Ziggs is on the top side taking an inhibitor as well. Nasus flashes forward. He gets exhausted, but it doesn't matter. He needs one more Q, and he just takes him down. As now there's no damage left. Or he's just going to shred through this Urgot, heal up a bit off these minions if someone else shows up. As the whole time Boat Chicken is just ending the game, destroying Nexus Tower, and 1 is down. Nexus Tower 2 is about to fall as well. Molly's saying, "Where's my teammates? I can't do anything here." But that's going to be Boat Chicken dying 10 times, but in the end, he's going to secure the victory for the Malders.
Wow, that was expected. They just got too far behind at the beginning of the game. It was hard to get back, especially with Rake being just so strong early. A strong Hecarim early just has a pretty easy time transitioning his team through the mid game.
Yeah, just a little bit of indecision there on their last fight. They couldn't all quite decide what they wanted to do. Maybe the call was to go to Nasus, but the Realm Warp was already down and they couldn't, either accidentally pass through it or couldn't get out of it in time. And they were just so split, and then they were focused on killing Nasus, but they didn't have the CC to let Zeri hit him the whole time. Zig's just doing Zig's things, killing structures.
Yeah, doesn't matter if you kill him 10 times, he's still going to take your base.
Yeah, can still auto attack, still has that satchel, execute on the turrets, and it's been game one secured over to the Malders. But that we're going to throw it to a quick intermission, and when we come back, we'll see if Malders can take this 2-0 or if the Shep can bounce back. Hello and welcome back to the start of draft for game 2 between the Malders and Black Shep. Malders up 1-0 as the Black Shep have elected to stay on red side. So maybe we'll see a little bit. I don't know if you could say better use of their counter picks. I don't think the Urgot pick was necessarily the bad answer. It was just maybe not as well executed.
Well, I mean, just to point out, you said last game it was already over, with the Urgot pick, that they should really just run it back already. So, yeah, you kind of look silly.
Yeah, that was actually game 2. I'm sorry. This was game 3.
Okay. Yeah.
It's 1-1.
Okay, my mistake. Yeah, I get it now. Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully teams will be ready to start their picks and bans here shortly. I think we're just waiting on maybe they wanted these teams to ready up. But what do you after how the games played out? What do you want to see different from the drafts going into game 2?
Man, well, I feel like Black Shep had a very they had a decent draft. It just wasn't executed well, right? Maybe besides a different Urgot pick, I think if they would have had something else that maybe was like a hard engage, it probably would have worked out a little bit better for them. Malders draft, it seemed like it was kind of all over the place, but with rate getting so far ahead, it didn't really matter. They looked like they were really like poke centric with Nasus, but like I said, it didn't matter because rate just got so far ahead. So I would like to see Black Shep maybe just play a little bit more hard CC, and I would like to see the Malders just do crazier shit.
Yeah. I think if Molly was on a support, like a melee support that wasn't Yuumi, even if like they're playing Braum, you could still play that, defensive like protagonist, but you offer a lot more hard CC. And they really just needed like someone else besides Whiskey to be able to help lock down Rake.
I would love to see a Mukau, bro.
A Mukau?
Mukau.
All right. That's gonna be something. Maybe Molly pulls out some, like Maokai support,
Let's not go that far.
That could be something. But I don't think Yuumi is very strong right now. I understand like the pairing, with Enders, getting his hands on that Zeri. But I feel like everything is so snowbally, like in the early game right now, that the Yuumi doesn't really offer a whole lot in the early fights. But we'll see what the adaptations they want to make as the Malders. I don't think they're going to be first picking Sona here, so we'll see what they do go with. And they're going right back to the Karma here, first pick.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, I think they might have gotten maybe a false sense of security for, how easy the lane was into the Yuumi where you get ahead early.
Yeah.
But I just don't see a world where you want or should prioritize the Karma as pick first round.
Yeah, I agree. I just didn't see like the Karma make that much of an impact anyway last game. It kind of like Karma just existed, and I'm already liking the Black Shep draft way more than what they drafted last game.
Yeah, we got point and click, a lot engaged, a lot of agency for Molly to start things off with. That's not less. Whiskey's on his Belveth. I've seen him play this, multiple times in Emerald. It's a decent pick right now. I think, were there changes recently to Belveth, or I'm not sure. I might be imagining things, but
was that a Yasuo insta pick?
That is, in fact, a insta lock on the Yasuo. And are we gonna get the Ivern pairing? They are. Is this gonna be the Taric jungle from Ray?
Oh my Christ!
He pulled it out last week, decides against it, and will go with the Ivern instead. But lots of shields and support already on the Malders side here, so we'll see who they're looking to funnel this support into. Who's gonna pick up this Yasuo?
That's an interesting pick.
Yeah, the Yasuo seems like something LGA would play, but the blind picking Yasuo Karma bot line doesn't really seem like a good idea, especially when you already see Nautilus.
True.
And the Xayah is coming out here, a very strong AD carry right now.
She is strong, but like into the Yasuo, like even if it's just like Yasuo mid, I don't know if I truly like the Xayah pick because Winwall just kind of shuts her down.
Yeah, but you also have a lot of safety for yourself. You're just extremely strong as is right now, as we see from you look at like World's Plans right now, where Xayah is the most played AD carry. So I think Enders, he gives him something with a bit of safety. He still can pump out the damage. And paired up with this Nautilus, they can go very aggressive early on. Which I think that kind of fits how Enders wants to play these lane matchups. In his early game is play aggressive. So I think this definitely facilitates that play style a bit more than the Zerayumi.
Now, for the Malders, they're kind of lacking in damage right now. What last 2 picks would you like to see from them?
I would like to see this not be Yasuo bot. Like honestly, I don't know who plays Yasuo on their team. But I would like to see just a traditional AD carry to pair with these big supports, as well as at the very least something that can fight a lot in the top lane, melee champion that can pair with these supports. And if this Gragas is a tank Gragas, I really like it. If it's AP Gragas, it's a bit more questionable. Obviously, you can snowball really hard on it. If you get ahead, you just Gragas Yasuo ult everyone and they're just dead. But I think the tank version pairs really well. But if it's not Gragas top, you probably have to play AP Gragas just to have the damage on your team. So it looks like Darius is locked in. The Black Shep, their fourth pick, just for everyone, is a Silas. Didn't quite get locked in time for the pick ban here. You were saying, Hanmine?
Well, I haven't seen a Gragas mid in a while. I thought he was more of a supporter top laner in the current meta. Unless he's bot, but that just seems weird.
Yeah, Gragas, laning Gragas really took a big hit, a while ago when they basically destroyed his passive. They increased the cooldown by like 40% or something on it. So it's a lot harder to sustain in lanes. So we'll see, how he's able to play it out. It could be Karma mid, and they could flex the Gragas down to support, but it's probably just a lane. That's a good. We'll have to see. I'm not.
Yeah. This
I would
draft I'm
assume
confused.
that the Gragas is a solo laner, but it could be a support if they want to flex the Karma, and that could be more. I just think if you're playing double melee in your bot lane, it could get real rough. But
well, I just don't see the damage for the Malders right now. Like they have Yasuo, yeah, but they have a Karma and a tree. Really just gonna be shielding. I don't know that Gragas really pumps damage, and Darius kind of takes a second to kind of ramp. I mean, he has damage, right? But it kind of takes a second to ramp a little bit. I just don't like if they get into just a straight up team fight with Black Shep. Honestly, I would put my money more towards Black Shep because I feel like they just have so much more, just oomph in their team fight.
yeah. Counterpoint.
The
Darius gets a free reset on the Nautilus, and then he doesn't need ramp time.
Facts. Yeah.
Then he's just full stack passive instantly.
True. Fuck it.
But yeah, there's a lot of engage, a lot of CC, reliable CC from the Black Shep. There is a wind wall for the Yasuo that can help shut down this Ornn engage. It can block feather pulls from the Xayah, but
does Ornn have a winning matchup into Darius?
No, I mean you don't beat Darius, but in a tank matchup. But
that's gonna be rough up there.
Trying to play it safe, farm up. You're going to take a CS deficit, but hopefully you don't die, and you just kind of try and offer more in team fights. But we'll have to see how it goes. There's not that great of ults for Silas to steal here for Raynor. You can steal the Gragas ult. I guess
he's got Daisy.
You could steal Daisy. But I mean, obviously the Darius ult not useful at all to you. The Yasuo ult's not great. A lot of the Yasuo ult is allocated towards armor pen in terms of so not that great. You could still Karma ult, get a big empower shield out on you and your team to buy time for cooldowns or speed up or whatever. So there's some options.
There is
no huge there's a Malphite ult and a Nocturne ult and some big ults for him to steal, but all right. So with all that being said, who comes out with the victory here in game 2?
Oh, tough. I don't know. I guess it's gonna come down to, I mean, you can say this about any game, who gets ahead. I feel like if the Malders somehow can get ahead, it's gonna be rough for the Black Shep to stay up with them, because I feel like a team that the Malders drafted, if they get ahead, it's over. It's just so hard to fight that. But I really want to say the Black Shep, just based on their team fight. I'm just hoping they don't launch all of their CC into the wind wall, because that would be unfortunate.
Yeah. We'll have to see if Enders, if he can dodge the Gragas ults and Gragas can't find a flank or something, and they actually can't get on him with the Yasuo. Everyone basically has to walk forward at him, so. But that was, kind of true last game. There was just the Hecker ult and everyone had to walk forward, but it just ended up not mattering. So we'll have to see if the Black Sheep can stabilize a bit in the early game and not fall too far behind. But we're going to throw to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the start of game 2 between Black Sheep and Malders. And we are back for the start of game 2 between the Black Shep and the Malders. Malders up 1-0 in the series so far. As we might get the start of a fight here at level 1, and we do get our confirmation. It is Gragas mid lane, like we anticipated. So.
Yep, that's what we had cooking.
Yep, and we get a pause.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Gragas top. They're gonna switch.
That could be real cooking. Put
So
the
what do you-
Darius into Silas.
Ooh. What do you think about the choice of items here for Gragas? Right, he went corrupting pot. Normally, you go corrupting pot if you're going to kill the other mid laner, but he went corrupting pot, teleport, and comet. So what do you think he's trying to achieve here?
I mean, you're just banking that you can get better trades. The issue here is that taking corrupting pot on a patch where every Doran's item was just significantly buffed. Not ideal. I think the buff to Doran's Ring HP neutralizes all the damage you're going to get out of Corrupting Potion. So yeah, you have the extra potions for sustain, but I feel like you just go Doran's in 2 pots and you just end up with more damage. You have more health. You end up with the same amount of sustain anyway. I don't think Corrupting Potion is very reasonable to purchase right now. Ornn also purchased it, which I really don't understand. I don't know why you would take Corrupting Potion into a Darius Ornn matchup, but those are decisions that were made. So
he's gonna go for the kill, and I believe in the Darius First Blood.
Yeah, this also isn't a grass matchup. This is I take Unseal Spellbook.
Yeah.
In lanes like this where you can't trade autos, as a tank, there are some tanks you can take like Comet on, like Malphite or something, in certain matchups. But Ornn is not one of those champions. So when you can't take Grasp, you should just take Unsealed Spellbook. As he
walked in for
absolutely
that 5th pick.
Destroyed.
He walked in
level
for that.
1.
My man just wants to fight.
Corrupting Potion tick down. That's kind of how you expect the worst case scenario for the bot lane to go. But now bot lane is skirmishing here. Rake is here at level 1 still, hasn't picked up one of his camps, and will force the flash and exhaust out of Molly.
He's level Rake... 1. Why exhaust there? He's not catching up to you.
Look, there was some quick
fear. There was fear.
And now the wave pushing against them here. They got the level 2. They need to be confident enough to actually walk up, but they know Rake is still in the area, so don't want to walk up too far here. But Rake will go back to pick up his camps he had previously marked, and really just got 2 summoners out for free.
True.
Any other
jittery down there.
Yeah. Any other jungler shows up to your bot lane level 1, you're like, oh, we just got so much tempo for our jungler. Ivern shows up and he's like, okay, he wasted like a couple seconds walking over here instead of marking his top camps instead. But it's really not going to matter too much, as Whiskey is not at a health advantage where he could look to contest this blue, but he might try anyway. But blue's already been taken. He's going to find Rake here. They're both half HP. Rake is going to get knocked up here. The root is landing, but Rake is just going to go down here, not respecting the damage out of Bel'Veth. And some good pathing for the Bel'Veth, finding him unawares in that bush. Oh, ENDERS is caught out here, gets exhausted, gets ignited. Double flash follows. The Gent's going to secure the kill, but now Molly, no flash. He gets the hook onto the wall. He might just have the health pool that will get himself out to safety here. But that's already ENDERS getting punished. Both summoners used and he couldn't get away.
That's why you have to be careful. They knew you blew your flash.
Well, ENDERS still had both the summoners. Who's not, unless he used the flash, but Whiskey not quite able to find the damage onto Boat Chicken. But now Rake is here. We might get a fight here as Rainer is looking very aggressive. Boat Chicken is still going forward. The flash follow with the shield. The flash in for Whiskey, but he missed the Q. And now Rake just runs them both down. He needs one more auto attack, but he can't quite find it. Just one more onto Rainer. Rainer has his cooldowns up, but he just gets denied with the body slam. And that's 2 kills over to this mid 2v2. And Shep are not following the game plan of don't fall super far behind early.
You know, some teams like to make it harder on themselves. Maybe this is where they thrive.
I think Arn, okay, he does have that flash still and will burn it, but you see he is 14 CS. He's getting doubled in CS here. The wave is, looks like it will slowly start pushing here. Okay, actually Darius hard shoved that wave, so should be able to collect some of this, but they have to be careful here. How close is Darius to 6 here? This could turn out disastrous. He gets a lot of damage. This knockup misses. As now, I don't think you have the damage as Whiskey to clean this one up. He gets a good heal, but Whiskey was able to put down the damages. Stand ready. Secures that with that Brittle proc, so we're able to get the Darius before he hit 6. I was not anticipating that much damage coming out from the Ornn there, but
yeah, they played a dangerous game because I don't know if they were really tracking if he was gonna hit 6 soon and all, but I guess it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah, I think he was probably still a half level away. As we see Gragas just taking over to 6 here as well, so probably sitting around that same timer in terms of XP. So not the most dangerous as a hook does land, but just going to be a bit of trading here. LGA still holding on to the wind wall, I think. Unless he used it previously, but
man, I don't know if you want to be throwing hooks. I guess they're not that far behind.
Yeah, you still have the range advantages. You basically, you have a colon, a longsword versus double daggers. So it's not really a big combat advantage, and you do have more health on your bot lane than they do as well. So especially if they knew the wind wall was down, it should be a fairly easy trade to take.
True.
As looks like Whiskey's looking to contest some camp respawns, but he's not going to find anything there. As it's like we'll get a little bit of a fight here in mid lane, but Belveth is here to try and answer. Boat Chicken's got to have to be a bit careful here. Still has his flash, gets knocked up, but it's not even going to use the flash. He's just able to walk himself out to safety.
Whiskey coming in, just giving a little bit of damage. Little damage. But
A little
bit.
Yeah, let's see here. If we look up to this top lane, it looks like Rake might be posturing for a dive here. He has swapped to TP on his spellbook, so doesn't have an ignite or exhaust or something to aid with this tower dive, but just denying vision, making the Ornn a little scared for his life here. Doesn't look like anything's going to come out of it just yet. But Rake not finding anything in terms of jungle camps, but does secure at least a ward to try and track the Spellveth. But Rainer is getting very low here. The ult's going to come out, but he was able to get to the other side. Boat Chicken goes in under the tower and has to flash away from the return Grog Assault, but Rainer is now very close to being dead. He's got to be very careful here.
Yeah, he's
One,
overstaying
two, and
just a little bit.
He gets the mana to dash out to safety, so he will be able to catch the rest of this wave. But flash burn onto Boat, having to survive there. Rainer still has his, so call that a bit of a win for the Shep mid laner.
Yeah, honestly, if Gragas wouldn't have flashed when he did, I think he dies there. I think he takes one turret shot too many.
Yeah, had to flash away from the angle to not get knocked back underneath this turret. Okay. Rake looking for the invade, but I don't think you're going to steal the red buff with Belveth already on top of it, so won't be able to find anything here. But bot laners both hitting 6, pretty important here if they can find a CC chain onto Molly, who's not going to have a lot of ways to protect himself. Obviously, Enders has that ult to deny any sort of follow-up or knock-up initially from happening. But neither team even sniffing at this dragon so far. Just a couple wards being placed. We are almost 9 minutes up here into the game, and we'll see when teams decide they want to look for these first objectives. Herald has been up for a bit, Dragon's up for a bit. Looks like both teams just content on farming so far. As Stand Ready could be in a bit of trouble here, but he does have the backup from Whiskey. But Darius flashes missed both the knockups, but he has the damage actually to trade one back, barely getting that guillotine off if any more abilities landed. It would have just been a clean 1-0, but a 1-to-1 trade, but Belveth is going to get some turret plates, so gold where you want to see it.
True. Bojack is doing a really good job of kind of kiting around his minions so Silas can't get that second E proc off.
Yeah, been doing a good job with these trades. Takes a bit unfortunate one there is now has to be a little bit careful. If he gets hit with a chain, I could be immediately followed up with this stolen Yasuo ult and take him down. But it looks like the Malders finally, now that Rake is 6, he has Daisy to help him with Dragon. It looks like they're going to go for this, trading it for the Herald. Up in top lane here, so. It's kind of your standard cross-map play. The only issue is you just gave Belveth her form with Herald. She can now walk into the lane, just get all these Belveth minions to help out on the push and just be extremely obnoxious on this push, but they got to be a bit careful. Raynor is low. Rake is in the area. We'll see if they try to go for this. Rake gets knocked up, but Raynor doesn't follow that up with the Stolen Yasuo ult. And they'll just get a couple plates here in mid lane for the trouble. Whiskey still sticking around, wants to drop those Belveth minions while he has them. Oh, Raynor's got to be careful. There's still a Gragas ult, and he's going to go down. Not respecting the damage out of Boat Chicken. And now looks like we're going to get a dive. Whiskey Lion is going in onto Boat Chicken, but he gets knocked up out of his W, I believe. But he's ends up getting traded back 1-for-1 as Darius rotated in time. So, good rotation there from Darius. He already pushed out top lanes. Wasn't losing a whole lot. Was able to catch that kill, but this Ornn getting a little bit of gold for himself, trying to, stop any sort of snowball from happening in this topside 1v1.
He didn't get the kill. Yeah, Darius didn't get the kill. He came down for an assist.
Yeah, that's basically a kill. It's like the same thing.
It's not.
Alright, well, that's Herald now spent. We have 3 minutes for the next dragon. A little bit of a lane swaps going on here as we got support and mid laner versus mid and mid, and then mid and bot lane. Now going head to head in here, but now Molly is getting caught up, has to flash away out to safety. There is no Gragas ult, so he won't go down just yet. Now Boat Chicken, the re-engage happens. He gets caught up, uses that stopwatch to buy some time. Whiskey Lion gets very low, is going to tick down to the Ignite. Now Raynor is here trying to finish things off. The Ornn ult comes out, but it's going to miss. Hook comes out as well, and they're going to land onto Rake, but he is very tanky here with the shields under turret. And they're going to be able to still trade one back. Enders gets very low, and now LGA is here.
Oh, no.
He's going to try and turn this one out. He gets knocked up into the CC combo, has to dash away to safety with 1 HP. But Ender's got to be careful, cannot get hit by a knockup, and everyone's going to disengage. Ends up, I believe, being a 2-for-2 overall. But the Darius is going to get some more turret plates in his back pocket here, and that since he never showed up in that 4v5.
Enders has to be.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, unfortunate for him, but now Raynor is trying to turn this one back. They pull Yasuo under turret. But unfortunately for them, Molly was able to secure that. Now Boat Chicken have 1 HP. They're trying to get him out to safety here. Gent actually provides the shield for the cooldowns to come back up. And Boat Chicken finishes him off. So we're just getting constant fighting here in this mid lane. Gent might be the next target as Whiskey could jump over this wall onto him. As he's going to look for this 1v1, but there is Rake here to try and peel his support. And they're going to be able to get Gent out to safety. But this Gragas, big turnaround from the performance we saw from Boat Chicken last game.
True, he's not at 6
4-1-4. All right. So we have basically a 1,000 gold lead, which is going to go down a bit as Enders picks up this turret plate. But 1,000 gold lead, a little bit under now at this point. Dragon is up in a minute. Do you think the Shep want to, take this fight, or just give it up and try and get some gold? Keep getting some gold onto their carries.
I mean,
and
I
look
don't see
for a
why they.
fight later on.
I don't see why they don't fight it, right? I don't think they're that weak. I think they haven't team fought yet, and especially with the damage Drake's kind of taking. Well, I guess not really taking any damage. I don't know. I would say go for it, right? I think with what Silas and Nautilus and Belvath can bring, I think they have a very good shot of just clearing house and just taking the dragon.
All right. Well, we'll see if they agree. It looks like they do, as Stand Ready has already rotated down here 20 seconds early. Darius doesn't have TP, and they spot this Ivern on this top side, so that might be their go-ahead to just be able to secure this. But they are taking a decent amount of poke, but without Darius there, I think the Malders are just going to give this one up, but they are sacrificing a lot on this top side of the map for this dragon here.
Yeah, they're really giving up, or they're taking dragon, but Garrus is getting so much gold in the top lane, just increasing that CS difference between Orin and himself.
Yeah, it definitely seems a bit odd for the Orin to rotate when he's the one with the TP advantage. You can always just stay up in top lane. If more people show up, you can use your ult to clear the wave instead. And Darius can't show up to the fight before you. So, maybe a little bit of a poor decision there, giving up 2 turrets to this Darius, who's now completed his Stride Breaker and is working towards his second item. And with Orin still not even on his first item, it's going to be very difficult for him to do anything besides just carefully catch waves underneath his own turret.
Yeah, he can't step out. He will just die.
All right. Second Herald has spawned here. Belveth would love to be able to pick that one up, but doesn't look like the Malders are going to give her the opportunity, as they're going to start this one up here. But it is... Xayah will be here shortly, and it'll end up being a 4v4 with Orin still having the TP advantage. So if he can back up and TP in here, and that's exactly what he's going to do here. This fight sticking out the... Nautilus ult comes out, locks up the Ivern, but they're going to take out Karma first. But if that's the only thing that goes down, that should be fine, as everyone else is going to get out to safety. And now they got to get this Herald and actually get something out of this, because Darius is going to take another plate here. Or another turret, rather, down here in bot lane. So they got the TP out, but they couldn't keep the engage going. Now they're going to look for something here underneath this turret, but the hook isn't going to land. They're just going to drop this Herald to try and build some pressure, but Darius is just still going. He's now uncontested on this inner turret. Sure, they're going to get this turret with this Herald charge, but I don't think you mind that too much, as Molly goes in, but the rest of the team is not on the same page. They're looking to disengage, but you can just stop the backs here. You're in a 4v4, you know you're fine here. They're looking for it, but he buffers the hook and is able to get himself out to safety. Now they're onto Yasuo here. They get the knockup, but a huge knockup to buy some time lands onto Enders, as everyone is going to disengage. In the meantime, there's a 1v1 happening. Darius and Silas both at 1 HP, who can get the cooldowns up, but no, the bleed's going to be successful. And that's going to be Raynor going down along with that that inner turret in favor of Darius, who is absolutely unstoppable at this point. And the Shep couldn't find anything in that to try and start a fight there, and Darius just wins all these 1v1s you're giving.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ornn... not Ornn, fuck. Silas he pushed top wave out, and then he teleported bot wave.
Jen's dead.
And goodbye, Jen.
Alright, they might look for a continuation here. We'll see if they can disengage. And looks like they'll be able to, so... We can continue back to what you were trying to say there.
I was just saying Silas pushed out top wave, teleported bot, didn't matter. Darius didn't care, took the tower, and killed him. So, really just unfortunate series of events for Silas.
Yeah, and now this Darius has a second complete, has the Sterex as well, to buy some time for those big Qs to come off cooldown to get his healing back in. Also buy some time for that redemption to land, as the Ivern has completed his second item with his rather cheap build path here, going for these double support items as is typical on the Ivern. So kind of have
Yeah.
to see, because the Shep haven't been able to get anything done in this 4v4. And even when they commit the Orin down there in the 5v4, they still can't get anything meaningful happening. And Darius is just getting such a big lead in these side lanes.
And
Really
you
need
have
to see
to
them.
you have to send 2. No one can sit there and just match him.
Yeah, and as we say that, Rake looking for an invade. He looks like he's caught up, but he has Darius there as backup. Now Whiskey has to flash for his life. Molly's trying to peel in. They get the Belveth out to safety, but at the cost of the flash and the Nautilus ult to get him out. So that's one less tool that's going to be down for this upcoming fight here at this dragon. And we'll see how they want to try and play this one out. Silas is going up the top side to try and catch a wave, but Stand Ready is way too far forward. Has to flash over that wall out to safety, and there's another important cooldown burn right before this next fight.
Yeah. I don't think they take this dragon. I
Oh,
think
they're
Malders-
just walking straight into Boat Chicken here as the engage lands. Whiskey's getting out to safety as Boat Chicken a bit indecisive onto who he wanted to land that ult on. But they'll just end up regrouping, going back down to this dragon instead. And looks like Shep might try and trade for Baron here. So the Malders have to be a bit careful, but as long as they know this is happening, it should be fine. And it looks like they have an idea as they all start walking over.
Yeah, he's probably holding his ult just so he can combo with Yasuo, honestly.
Yeah, the lead just it's always an easy strategy in these team fights. Just throw your ults. Yasuo can immediately ult after it. You stop everyone from being split up if you don't want them to be. You still get all the damage out of it, and they still just get this dragon anyway. You know, smart of them realizing the Shep were trying to trade that Baron and just say everyone, oh, Boat Chicken, looking for something. Hasn't thrown the ult just yet. He's still sitting on it, trying to bait out the Ender's ult, but throws it a bit mistimed on that Xayah ult, so he'll be able to get himself out to safety. So now Rake is caught out here, gets Chains to Seed locked up, and he's going to go down. So now the rest of the Malders are going to have to disengage a bit here, as Enders is trying to chase everyone down. Both Shirelias, I'm sorry, the Shirelias from Malders was popped, but now Boat Chicken just walking straight into the 4v1. I'm not sure what he thought he was going to get from them. Maybe look for a knock-up onto Enders, but that did not happen. As now, this might be the Baron angle that the Shep needed.
But the question is, are they going to lose too much as they try to take this Baron?
As Silas has left, I don't think Darius can dive the Silas onto a turret. So that should be able to protect the base here. We'll see if they find the turn here. They still have the Nautilus ult, and they just immediately turn on the LGA. He goes down, the hook lands on the Gent. That's 2 clean kills and a great turn by Shep, knowing they had that Nautilus ult coming up off cooldown. And now that's going to be a free Baron for them. Unless Argo has something to say about it. He's starting to walk over, but I think it's going to be down before he gets a chance to show up. And I don't think he wants to take this 4v1, but he might. They are pretty low health already. Everyone's at about half health. They might just sacrifice Molly here. Maybe even Whiskey's going to have to get sacrificed. Molly gets his flash over the wall. So they will trade jungler for the Baron in the end, but that's what the Shep needed to get back into this game.
I agree, but another question is, how are they going to use this Baron? Are they just going to group as 5 and push? Are they going to try to split? Because split, no matter what, I still don't think anyone on Shep can fight Darius. He's just going to match whoever they send and probably just kill them.
Yeah, it is hard, especially now that you're pushed back basically to your inhibitor turrets on the sideline. So sure, you could say, oh, Ornn has the TP advantage. He can hold the waves and then TP. But if you TP before you clear the wave, I mean, Darius is just going to take an inhibitor for it, so you better be getting like game-winning damage from your TP. And so far, they haven't been able to find that, so it's really going to be on them to make sure that they get advantages from this TP or just win straight up in this 4v4 with a good engage from Molly coming out. Or maybe a flank from Raynor. Because they really can't afford just to TP Ornn in to get 2 kills and then lose their inhibitor for it.
I agree.
All right, Raynor, you got to be careful here. You're in a 3v1. The Q goes wide, but he's able to dash over the wall, gets booped out a little bit to safety, as now he's been able to regroup with his team. A bit of a misexecution for the Shep. but they get the Xayah ult really early out here, but the Gragas ult is down as well. But the Gragas lands a body slam, but Yasuo wasn't in range to follow it up, as now the Darius is being kited out in the backline, and now Yasuo is in the middle of the fight. He doesn't want to be here, but he gets the first kill. Going down onto the Nautilus, he isn't able to find more, as a huge reset's coming out for it. iEnders picking up a double kill now as Raynor won the side fight with Darius, and that's a clean 5-for-1 ace for the Shep, and they should be able to deal a lot of damage here. They still have Baron running, and this should be probably the mid lane inhibitor.
Yeah, the Malders just don't have the damage. I think they overcommitted. Once Silas got away, they should have just backed off.
Yeah, committing that Gragas ult, not finding it, and then he committed the body slam. But Yasuo was just barely out of range to follow up on that. So then Yasuo has no way to actually get into the fight. And had to commit the wind wall just to get himself into the fight, rather than using that wind wall to protect himself once he's already in the fight. And from there, he was just so much weaker than he could have been, as Enders was able to just start free hitting once all the threats were, all the threatening abilities had already been thrown out. So, you gotta be a bit careful here on the reset, but that is a big gold swing for them. It went from, a little bit down to getting even off that Baron, and now they're up 3k off that as well. Enders completed his third item. He has a stopwatch as well for safety. And there we can see that gold graph. Pretty big swing in favor of the Shep over the last couple minutes.
Yeah, I think the other issue was too that Argo. I like the bush camp.
Someone gonna face check this. 10 seconds on Dragon. Rake is baiting. He's all by himself. Go for him. He walks into the bush. Whiskey chases forward. 8 moves straight into 5 people. But somehow he's able to get himself out to safety. Not enough was committed to get that pick, but now they're on the run. But a huge Everfrost into the root comes out, and they just completely destroy the Gragas before he can do anything. But now Enders is caught up, but he still has the ult. He just rips apart this Darius with a feather pullback, as now LGA is running for his life. He gets the ult off to try and buy some time. He trades back 1 kill, but that's a quadra kill. Going over to Enders as Stand Ready steals the Penta, but that might be game here. They have a minion wave. They have 20 seconds onto this Gragas, 25 seconds onto anyone else. And I think that's going to be game here for Shep, as they're going to even the series up 1-1.
Yeah, there's just not enough consistent damage, and although Argo was pretty strong, it just seemed that he couldn't do anything in any of the team fights. And Boat Chicken, although also had a pretty early lead, also just didn't seem to be doing much in team fights either.
And here we go. The last hits happen. Boat Chicken didn't have the cooldowns to keep him away. He got completely blown up in that last fight. I don't think they ever actually played off the Gragas Yasuo combo, except for that one time in mid lane where they caught Enders with no ult.
Yeah, which kind of seemed like they're not win con per se, but it seemed like a big part of their team fight, and it just never connecting.
Yeah, if you draft Gragas Yasuo and you only use it once, that's a large power budget you've just never utilized. So
True.
We'll see if they're able to bring it back, maybe just clean up the execution a bit. And I think they were in a position to pull that one out, but just a couple plays didn't quite go their way, and the Shep were able to pull it back, and off the back of a pretty good team fighting performance from Enders there, we're able to clean it up and win that game. We're going to throw it to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see the conclusion of this series in Game 3 between Malders and Shep. And we are back for our third and final game of this series between the Black Shep and the Malders. As we get straight into picks and bans here, as we start off with the typical Karthus ban against Rake. All right. Huge. Anyway, Malders thinking about continuing this trend of banning Jinx Caitlyn every game. It will probably continue. It doesn't look like the at least the ban strategy hasn't changed too much so far by these teams. But,
Yeah, that's how dare they not try to spell something? I'm actually cringe right now.
Interesting. What if they are spelling something? You just can't translate it.
All right, Karthus Udyr, okay. Jinx Caitlyn, that already failed. But
Yeah. Come on. You haven't put together the pieces yet.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. JC, what are they? What is the J silent? Is that what? Yo, who plays Annie?
One would guess that Raynor probably plays Annie, given he's the one that they're banning it against.
I'm looking it up.
That would just be my guess, though, as Whiskey is going to stick with this Belveth as they're going to first pick it here on this blue side. And once again, we get the Terror cover. Is Rake going to pull it out here in game 3? Counting down. Come on, Rake, do it. Just lock it in.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Whoa. Oh, he's going to lock it in. They're not ready for that. And it's in.
There we go. We get the Tarek locked in. Presumably,
please.
For Rake, it could still go to Gent, obviously, in the more traditional support role, where it's supposed to be.
It's not. That's a jungle. Tarek, you can see it in his eyes.
We will. We'll have to see. As it looks like LGA might lock in this Ezreal once again, going back to what he had a bit more success from in game 1 than that Yasuo pick in game 2. So, hey, at least we're on a champion that's ranged in the bot lane.
True. I'm excited for Boat Chicken to insta-lock Karma, to be completely honest.
Yeah. We're just going to keep the Karma train going.
I mean, can't stop it now. Choo-choo, motherfucker.
All right. Well, Ender's going to stick with that the Xayah from last game. Appreciating the safety that it gave him. We saw he put out a decent amount of damage on that as well. So can't fault him too much there, as we'll see what they want to lock in here for their last pick of this round 1 of the draft. I expect probably a support here, and they're just going to go with Rakan to pair that up. Yeah, very strong support.
So far, Black Shep have a solid draft. I mean, really team fight heavy so far. Oh. That's not Karma.
Oh, are we going to get the Janna Tarek team?
What is going on here?
They're deciding. I really hope it's not Janna.
I do too.
Well, it's Janna.
Well, we don't know. That could be Janna mid.
I don't think that's better. Well, we get the Janna locked in.
I can tell you right now, Bali's gonna be boring.
Look, we got a lot of support for someone. So we just need someone else on the Malders to step up and just be that hard carry. But the Malders trying to take away some of the picks that maybe they felt gave them a little bit of trouble last game. The Silas is gone. We'll see what their last pick is going to go for. They're going to take out that Fiora once again by the looks of it. Not wanting to let Stand Ready have that up in the top lane.
Yeah, I think they should.
Yeah, I think that Tarek Janna lane is well equipped to deal with a split pusher. So
never seen that go wrong.
think they should give someone a comfortable champion to split push on, as Rise is going to be the ban, followed by an instant Trinimir ban. As Malders looking like they're going to hovering this Gangplank here. They've hovered it a couple times so far, but haven't locked it in just yet.
I don't like it. I mean, I guess it does have poke, but like the way their team's already working, they either need 2 hard engages or they just need to stick with like a poke comp, honestly, that just randomly has a Taric.
Yeah. It's okay. The Janna buys time for the Taric ult to land.
Yep, and then also knocks them out of Gangplank barrels and out of Ezreal Qs and yep. Never anti-synergy. Don't know what it is.
No, it's fine. This is going to be perfectly coordinated Janna ults. He's actually going to use the Janna ult to knock them into Gangplank barrels.
Oh, okay, that's on me.
Yeah. But I understand you wouldn't have seen this level of coordination before, but
Nope.
this is the level of coordination we expect out of our Emerald League players and teams.
Is that
but
another Ornn?
the Ornn, consistent, reliable, engages maybe if he hits them. But stable pick up on this top line here. And we're gonna get possibly an Azir. So lots of late game scaling, lots of damage, lots of area control for the Black Shep, and decent amount of engage as well with the Rakan and Ornn. So all around a pretty good team fight composition. Once again, locked in by the Black Shep, and we'll see if they can clean up their early game a bit to not put themselves in those deficits they found themselves in these last 2 games. But luckily for them, they were able to find ways out of it last game. But it's going to be an Anivia locked in. That's the last pick for Malders. More stall, Lots of area control. Stall wants to play long, drawn-out fights.
Oh god, that has to be flanking Anivia, right? Like I don't see another way it couldn't be.
Yeah, all right. Well, if he plays Anivia like you, they could be in trouble.
Yeah, trouble of winning.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Malders have put themselves together an interesting comp. They have lots of stall, lots of disengage, lots of wave control, zone control with the Gangplank barrels, Anivia ult. But they're fairly short range into an Azir. And if they mess up timing on Taric ults or Janna ults, they're all just going to die. So.
Honestly, I think this is going to be a big game for the Malders to play really ratty. I'm talking vision, all them. They clear every ward and they just sit in bushes.
Yeah. That's, could be a solid strategy. But, we've seen some face checks here and there. Some more successful than others. But, I think you just really kind of have to favor the Black Shep with this draft. It's what they've been able to perform on is just this front-to-back team fighting comp, and they're very well set up with these 2 big backline carries to do that. So I think the Malders are really going to have to out-execute them to perform, I think, in these team fights. But,
I agree. I feel like they're going to run into a lot of anti-synergy, but I guess we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But with that, we'll throw it to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see the finale of the series between Black Shep and Malders. And we are back for the start of the finale as we get an invade coming out here in the level 1. Boat Chicken is running for his life. He still has his passive though, so is relatively safe, but is already actually burned a potion there. So it's going to be 1 potion down, and that sweeper wasn't able to secure that ward as well. So a little bit of a rough start for Malders. Not the end of the world, as long as Boat Chicken is able to get this recall off and heal up beforehand, which looks like he will be able to do here. But Rake won't have that luxury, so starting his jungle a little bit chunked out. I don't know how. Whoa, Boat Chicken! It's actually burning the TP level 1.
Oof.
It looked like he had time if he just immediately recalled and started walking.
Well,
to
he had
get
a
back.
shop for items with his 0 gold, so he was
Yeah.
pretty busy.
So now he starts laying down TP and down 1 health potion. It's gonna be really hard for Anivia, who really wants to just, get that lost chapter, or even earlier get his tier and just immediately TP back to help with that mana economy, but won't have that option this game. As Rake is destroying as many wards as he has camps so far. But this, Tarek, he's just slapping buffs.
Yeah, I honestly want to let him cook, but I'm afraid that he's gonna, burn the kitchen down. But I guess we'll see.
He has 100% win rate on Tarek jungle.
How many games is that?
We don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
What's important is the win rate, not the games played.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. On me.
Yeah. All right. So, looking at this matchup, where do you think, the biggest catalyst for action here is in this game? Because when I look at this top side, you have a tank versus Gangplank, and then you have a Nivea versus, Azir. Doesn't really seem like there's a lot of options there. But then you look down on the spot side, it's like Ezreal Janna. Like, how do you set something up there either?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Anivia would be safest bet, but
oh, hold that thought, as Whiskey is actually just getting 1v1'd by this Tarek. Has to burn the flash to get out to safety.
embarrassing.
As Rake trades out the Ghost, but I don't think Whiskey is well versed on the Tarek damage and just got absolutely destroyed there, looking for the invade. And, Tarek trades his mana for HP when he can just free auto attack things, so his heal has no cooldown when he's just auto attacking his camps. So he stays at full HP, and because he's a jungler, you can't run out of mana. So honestly, I see what he's cooking. Yeah. Look, he's just ahead of the time, okay? You're gonna see here, World Finals is gonna come out, and they're just gonna lock in the Tarek, and there's gonna be an interview. It's like, where did you see this? And it's like, yeah, I saw this guy in NA solo queue. He was playing it, and I thought it was a good idea. So, credit to Rake for winning the team the World Finals with this Tarek pick. He just walks through the mid lane, doesn't even care. Gives Boat Chicken a little bit of heal. But now he's got to be a bit careful here. He is being collapsed on. He's trying to secure this crab, but it's at 4 HP, and Enders is going to secure this, and now Rake gets ignited. He can't heal through this. Sidestepped. The Janna flashes, but straight into the wall. Can't get there in time. And that's First Blood going over to iEnders.
Ooh, that is not where you want the kill to go. If you're Malders.
You're telling me that you don't want the main carry of the enemy team to start off with First Blood?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, actually.
I don't know. That sounds like a good strategy. It sounds like something I would try.
Yeah.
So I can't be wrong.
Oh.
Well, Ezreal has a Sheen now. Seems to be doing just fine down here until Enders can actually spend that money on that First Blood. Should be fine as he has the better, back. a Cole versus a Sheen, definitely in favor of the Ezreal. As Enders is taking a lot of damage here. LGA is going to shift forward. He just needs one more Q. He misses it with the flash forward. And a good sidestep by Enders keeps himself alive. But that's a flash traded by both Shep bot laners for LGA's flash and Jin's heal.
Now he's definitely going to have to be careful. Tarek's going to come hunting.
True. Well, the Malders sniffed out that roam from the mid jungle of the Shep and were able to back out to safety. But looks like Whiskey's just going to start up this dragon right away here with this bot lane Preshow and mid lane Robe as well. So turning the tables a bit from previous games where the Malders picked up a pretty late dragon in both of those games. Shep getting it started early here with a sub 7-minute dragon take. So they should have plenty of time to take a reset and get back to contest Herald if anything were to happen there on spawn. Let's see, here's Rake. Might be looking for something. Ornn is being very aggressive, takes a turret shot, now gets Gangplank ulted. He has the flash still. We'll see how he decides to use it as Rake is just trying to line up this stun. And they're going to force the flash out of Ornn as Raynor gets a little bit of poked out, but both mid laners are able to walk out to safety there. But that gank is going to cost Rake a couple camps down here in this bot side. As I think I'm not sure Whiskey actually found any camps there, so.
Look, I don't think Rake really cares about farming. He is Tarek.
This is Rake. He always cares about farming.
That's true.
He's farming Scuttle Crabs right now as Whiskey's just trying to help Raynor shove this one out, but he's got to be careful here. He needs one more auto attack to take him out to safety. He flashes into a wall just to try and separate from those auto attacks. Is able to get out. But now LG has got to be a bit careful here. The shift has already been used, and now Gent Spin Ignited pops the shield. And that's going to be enough to get them out to safety.
I'm curious why he didn't follow.
They were slowed up by the Glacial Augment from the Tornado, I think, and without Ghost or Flash Up, they really didn't have anything to close the gap there, but it got very close there as Gent went down to probably sub 100 HP at the end there. But that is Ignite burned for nothing but a better reset timer.
We love the reset timers. Easy clap. Now I'm noticing this game also, Molly's the only one who has Ignite.
Yeah. Saying that like it's a problem?
I've just something to point out.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Ignite is very standard on Janna. You try not to be in a position where you're needing to use that or wanting to use that.
True, but you're just downing Janna damage, and it's kind of cringe that you're downing Janna damage.
Well, Janna does so much damage she doesn't need the Ignite. Ever think of that?
Nope, not in the thought process.
All right, well, Boat Chicken's got to be able to get careful here. Sidesteps the knockup, but can't sidestep the ult. And should get his passive popped here, and with that, he's going to go down. Raynor flashes forward, but Whiskey was already there to cut him off. So, a bit of a wasted flash there, but at least they're going to hand this kill over to the Azir. Get himself on the board for that commitment of the flash. Alright, well, just, some more farming. Going down here in this bot lane with both supports looking for roams. Gent not quite in time to help out in that mid lane, but LGA's not really suffering here. He's doing just fine in this 1v1. And the Rake is actually staying ahead on camps here from the Spellveth, as Spellveth is going to secure this Herald and get her form as well. But, Rake's up 2 camps now. Will be a little bit less once this Herald is secured, as that will make up a lot of money from a camp. But
True.
Whiskey is just going straight in. There's going to be a 1v1 fight for these crabs. Rake misses the stun, so Whiskey's using this opportunity to go in, but he just doesn't have the damage to get through the heals, and he's just getting solo killed, beat down by this red buff Tarek. You just can't hurt when the heals are up. And not the greatest look for Whiskey there. Twice he's tried to invade, and twice he's gotten his ass beat by a man with a hammer. But Boat Chicken, one more auto, and he's going to go down.
With the solo kill.
The solo kill coming out by Raynor. Trying to put his team a little bit on his back here. Making up for his jungler's mistakes there. But Boat Chicken starting to look a little bit like game 1 instead of game 2.
Well, we're not at 10 quite yet, so hold your horses.
Yeah, that's why I said starting, but LGA's got to shift away, but the charm and follow-up is going to land. The Ignite comes out, but so does the heal from Janna, but it's not going to be enough, and now Jet's going to go down as well, as there's 4 people here to clean him up, and they're going to give that kill over to Raynor as well, a double kill before this Azir, and he is sitting very happy on this Azir 4-0 at 11 and a half minutes.
He's going to be such a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Herald is also dropped here, funneling some turret plate money into iEnders. As you can see, Raynor and iEnders competing for the richest man. I think Enders is going to pass him here with this turret plates, but no, still not quite there. Needs 50 more gold. But that looks like it's going to be second dragon uncontested as well for the Shep. And they're off to a roaring start here. Are 2,000 gold in the lead, have 2 dragons as well. And Malders just haven't found any success so far in this early game, besides Rake winning the 1v1.
Yeah, I just don't see how they even... Which I'm surprised because they, for some reason, fought for the first one in game 1. But now they seem to just be like, they can have that Drake. And the next one. And the one after that. Actually, they can have all the Drakes.
Yeah, they're learning how to share, okay?
Yep, that's what it is.
They've come back from kindergarten. The teacher scolded them for not sharing the blocks. So they're just trying to learn their lessons from previous. As LGA is really trying to hunt down Whiskey here, but is not going to find him. But, yeah, it's hard to see the path forward here for the Malders with how their team wants to execute and already being down 2,000 gold and the objectives. Even if they were to get somehow win a fight and get a gold lead here, they have nothing that can force the Shep to come fight them because they're already down in objectives as well.
So they have the ultimate taunt. It's called Rake.
Even if the Shep were to fall behind, it's just so hard for the Malders to ever actually win a team fight that as Rake is I don't think this is where Tarek wants to be. He's trying to buy, so he's dying a lot of time here, but the Anivia shows up. It's going to be able to snipe a kill back. Boat Chicken's probably going to go down here. The Gangplank's here to try and buy some space, but it's not going to find it. But he just jumps straight in onto the Azir, but the ult was still there. Azir just needs one more Q to reposition some soldiers and should be fine here. Argo looks for it, but can't quite find the damage. And that's going to be 3 for 1 in favor of the Shep, opening up to almost 3,000 gold now. And this Azir is just getting so much money. Now has 10 stacks on his Dark Seal as well.
I'm curious if anyone told the Malders they can, stop inting.
Yeah. I think it might have been on their radar, but it might be down the priority list on their objective sheet.
Oh, yeah? Very good, very good. I'll introduce them to a vision board before their next game.
Yeah, but getting solo ults out of Terakez, I think Raynor might go down here, and that could be huge for both, but he can't quite find it. He flashes under turret and is able to secure the shutdown. Why would you? Okay. Burns the stopwatch so Rakan gets the money instead. I think he would like to keep that stopwatch, but he decides against it. So does get the shutdown, so that's a hashtag worth. But I think Argo's going to go down here as well, as they're just kind of falling apart across the map. Rake is now looking for something, but he misses the stun, and now Enders is just free hitting. There is no Tarek ult, and LGA is so low, he has to disengage. As the stun finally does land into the Ezreal ult, but it just doesn't do enough damage. Enders finally pops the ult. He should have the feather pullback here soon. Has to flash away from that stun, but there's the feather pullback. Great lives with 1 HP, but Raynor is here to clean up. Not able to find the damage to clean anyone else up, but they just don't have the damage with this Taric. And the Ezreal was chunked out early, forced out.
You're telling me Jungle Taric does not produce damage?
Well, you know, he does damage in the 1v1. As we've seen him bonk Whiskey a couple times, but when there's, you know, support there, he's getting CC'd. As Raynor's got to be very careful here. Molly jumps in to try and save him, but now Molly's in trouble as the Gangplank ult comes down and secures that kill. Now Raynor's going to go down, as well as Shep treating a bit too hard here, playing a bit too free and giving over a couple more kills over. So just, you know, maybe clean that up a little bit. Eurazir did have 10 stacks. Now he only has 3.
Winning. So, Shep have 2 dragons.
Good observation.
Yeah. Shep has 2 dragons. I'm curious to see if it even makes it to Soul Point this game with the way things are going.
Yeah, you know, we'll have to see. There is going to be a fairly early soul now at around the 22.5-minute mark. If they kill these next dragons on spawn, but LGA's got to be very careful. He uses the flash and the shift, but he just can't get away from all of this engage. The Taric ult comes out, but it's way too late to save anyone. And that's just another cooldown being spent. They won't have that in their, you know, desperate hope to maybe contest this 3rd dragon, but Boat Chicken is just getting completely ran in this 1v1. The Herald destroys the turret. Boat Chicken's going to get cleaned up on the backside by Whiskey. And it should be a free soul point over to Shep. And they're 5 minutes away from picking up this Ocean Soul.
Yeah, if you are Malders, this is a tough spot.
As okay, where's the copium? How do Malders get themselves back into this game?
All right, hear me out. You're in a bush. This bush has no wards. Raynor, not Raynor actually. Actually, I don't know, because a lot of Shep's teams and Gangplank is dead. Just have a lot of like outs, right? Like Raynor walks to a bush and there's people in it, he'll just ult.
All right. Well, we just saw the Gangplank die, and I think we're about to see the Taric die as well. This is, I was going to say they could look for Baron, but, you know, it's 18.5 minutes in, so...
I mean, they could look at it and look for it, but they could never take it.
I think if they stand there and wait for Baron to spawn, I don't think that's enough for the Malders to get back in the game with the rest of the team just goes AFK for 1.5 minutes.
Oh. Raynor, what are you doing over there?
All right, Gent's getting picked off. LGA's getting picked off. I mean, their whole team is just falling apart at this point. They're pushing way too far forward on everyone, getting picked off. Easy 1v1s, 2v1s. This is, this is a bit ugly. Maybe...
Yeah, well, and I'm going to redirect the question to you. They have, well, they're roughly down... What is it? 5k gold. How do the Malders come back?
Well, you see, you're supposed to be the smart man here that answer those important questions.
Oh, okay.
I'm just here to tell you that this tower is the only thing doing damage to the Shep. As Boat Chicken is down once again. And the Gangplank ult doesn't find anything. I mean, it's looking pretty doomed for the Malders. I don't really think beyond a horrendous throw from the sheep, there's not really anything they can look for here.
Yeah.
Maybe you camp in a death bush and just hope you get, you know, Enders to like walk into you or Whiskey to walk into you, get some shutdown gold, maybe buy some time, get that pick right before Dragon spawns, and maybe you can fight the 4v5 to stop the soul, but Baron is going to be started here for the Black Shep, and the Malders have no vision in the area, have to walk through all this vision just to try and check this, so Looks like they might show up in time, but Rake is still a little bit too far
Oh,
away.
God, he's sprinting.
He get here, but he doesn't have flash, so he can't get in the pit. And that's just uncontested Baron. 8,000 gold lead. Dragon Soul in 2 minutes. Now Gent is getting caught out here. Uses the flash, but still gets tagged up by the Ornal, but staying ready. Doesn't quite have his backup, but now Rake just walks forward and he has doesn't have any backup. That's going to be immediately killed there. I think this Tarek is about to go to 50% win rate.
Ah. Well, no. Gangplank just claimed an objective bounty. They're back in it.
Okay. Gangplank, he's scaling. He's got the 2 items completed. He has the stopwatch. They have this Anivia wave clear to stall out. They have their side waves pushed out, so they don't have to clear anything but mid. Look, they'll be fine for like the next 2 minutes. Easy.
They won't be.
Look, if they somehow lose here to this Baron buff, when it's only 1 lane pushing and you have Anivia, I don't know. Maybe FF was the angle.
Well, yeah.
I think that might be the only way you can lose at that point.
Hear me out. 5-man disconnect.
Okay. The 5-man disconnect into the using the whole pause allotment into the forced FF.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, I think that's the Malders win condition.
Yeah, they're just looking at the scoreboard. It is just rough. They are down so much gold. It's just painful at this point.
Yeah, it's just like a hope and a prayer. You know, might seem, like we're memeing a bit, but like,
I mean,
it's hard. It's hard to be serious when this is the game state of your game.
Yeah, Tarek jungle, Anivia speedrunning deaths. Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I would love to see Malders start brawling. Just roam as 5 and just go hunt people down. But even then, it's like, do you kill anybody? Maybe.
Yeah, it's really hard at this point. They're losing basically all their important vision. Now Rake is getting cut out. It's a solo Tarek ult that never has the chance to land. As Molly gets a lot of damage put on him, has to flash away from the Gangplank ult, but Ezreal doesn't quite find him. But yeah, you can see that Bo, if he, can just hit someone over the wall for free, maybe he can hurt someone, but he can also just get hurt real quick. But Enders has to flash away from this Gangplank, who just picks up a double kill. And that is a ton of gold into his pocket as he landed a huge barrel chain. I think right there that also crit onto the Enders and just blew him up instantly.
Yeah, I mean they did get some shutdown gold, so maybe this will be enough to slow the inevitable.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, it looks like they are going to still lose their inhibitor even when they get 2 free picks. So a little bit unfortunate for them, but this Gangplank is, scaling. He now has 3 items. He's going to hurt people if he's able to land those barrel chains.
Very true. And I would say relatively 4 out of the 5 people on Shep are pretty squishy.
Yeah, the problem is he's really got to land those barrel chains from out of vision, because Azir is really good at sniping those barrels. He has the instant auto attack, and with the attack speed he has, he winds up really quick. So you got to be real good on your timing, or Azir can't see the barrels coming in. Or it could be hard to land those chains, but I think that's kind of what Malders are hoping for, is some big Gangplank barrels, as Whiskey might have overextended here. Oh. Tarek ult lands, but it only landed onto Rake, so LGA just taking a lot of damage, can't quite clean up Whiskey, as now he's going to cut through this Ornn, and he does not have the damage for that. As now Rake looks like he's going to go down here as well, and looked promising to start, but they just lack the damage to even take out this Belveth, who is, not
Did Rake solo
necessarily
ult
super
himself
tanky.
again?
Yeah, he just ulted himself there. So LGA not getting the invulnerability to maybe help him out a bit there.
Now this is a new type of gangplank play. I'm not gangplank turret play. I'm not familiar with. Does solo ulting give you a buff?
Yeah, it's a morale boost for the enemy team.
Oh god.
As unfortunately for Malders, we talked about gangplank their win condition. During that, he actually died.
Ooh.
So he was not even here to help protect the base, just spawning now, but now Anivia is dead. One Nexus turret is down, but they did get a kill onto Azir here, and I think they might be able to clean this one up as there goes the Belveth, there goes the Rakan. Now stand ready, has to run for his life. There is a Baron up in 15 seconds. So Mauler should just beeline it straight there. Try and pick that up. They don't need everyone here to catch the waves, but they're spending so much time chasing this Ornn down. I think he's going to buy enough time to not let them secure this Baron, as they still haven't started moving in that direction either.
Yeah, well, they're probably afraid that if they do... Well, maybe not. They're kind of moving now, but I don't think they have enough damage to kill it.
Yeah, Raynor does have TP. Enders is up in 5 seconds. Rakan's up soon. They haven't even started it yet, so I don't think they're going to be able to get this. But I think they just had to pull the trigger and do that desperation play. Hope that, Anivia spawns and Anivia can hold from any sort of backdoor attempt. You knew it was just Ornn left, so it's not like they could loop back around and try and sneak the base. But weren't able to go for that one, and now Baron is up here for the Shep to start up here, and it doesn't look like the Maulers are going to have a chance to contest this either now that they've all regrouped to try and catch some waves. So one more Baron here secured for the Shep. On top of the Soul, they now have Baron. They have 3 items on both their carries. Their Ornn is basically unkillable. So it's really just face-checking Gangplank barrels is the only thing that can hurt them. And Gangplank, you see the damage coming out. But that's going to get healed up. Oh, he finds Raynor as well. Getting a lot of value out of this Gangplank, getting a lot of damage down. But here comes the Ornn ult into the Rakan engage. Well, the Turret ult comes down, but it's not in time. So Rake barely lives with that Turret ult landing. That's Anivia down. That's part of your wave clear. Now Gangplank has to use his barrels to clear the wave instead of for poke. See if he can find both. Raynor is very low. 1 barrel could kill him, but they not quite have the range on that. Molly pops the ult, flashes over the wall, but doesn't quite find the engage, but it's enough to push them back. The 3rd inhibitor is going to go down. Gangplank gets jumped on. He uses the stopwatch to buy some time, but the Rakan pops him as he comes out of it, and that's going to be game as Shep are able to clean up the series 2-1.
Wow, they came into that game and just dominated.
Yeah, that was not the best look for the Malders. Went for something, a bit creative in the draft, but just weren't able to find the execution in the early game and just fell so far behind. It was so hard for them to actually execute as a team. So unfortunate for them, but congratulations to the Shep for maintaining their perfect series score, moving up to 5-0 here.
Let's go.
So, pretty good for them. They go to game 3 every time, but they win game 3 every time. So, all right. Any final thoughts about that series, Hanmine?
Oh, yeah. Well, the team comps were interesting, and the execution was even more interesting. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, with those brilliant words of encouragement from Hanmine, I think that's going to be all for us here on the cast tonight. I think I am actually not sure if... okay, Frozen is not going to have his After Dark stream, so that's going to be it for us here with the Emerald, and thank you all for tuning in and watching Week 5, and we hope to see you all next week for our Week 6 match.